All right, there we go. Good evening, y'all. Welcome to Poetry Open Mic Asheville. Thanks for joining us tonight. My name is Caleb Beissert. It's a pleasure to be your host this evening. Big shout out to our sponsor, Sovereign Kava, keeping this open mic going for the past 10 years here in Asheville. And thanks to your support as well. We really appreciate you tuning in, and we appreciate all the likes, comments, and shares. Yes, keep those comments rolling in. We love to hear from you. And anyway, we've got a special show for you tonight. It's the first open mic of 2021, and Tracy Schmidt is our feature poet tonight. We're very excited to have her on the show. We'll get to her in just a minute. I'm going to start things off tonight with the poetry. Y'all get comfortable, relax. It's Poetry Open Mic. Cheers, everyone. And of course, I do want to say, our hearts go out to our friends in D.C. tonight, in Washington, D.C. Of course, I was born in Washington, D.C., and me and my brother and the whole Poetry Cabaret crew have been up there. We have a strong connection with the place and the poets there, and much love to our friends in D.C. tonight. Y'all stay safe out there. Take care. Anyway, crazy times indeed. I'm going to start off with some Jane Hirshfield tonight. This one's called On the Fifth Day. On the fifth day, the scientists who studied the rivers were forbidden to speak or to study the rivers. The scientists who studied the air were told not to speak of the air. And the ones who worked for the farmers were silenced, and the ones who worked for the bees. Someone from deep in the Badlands began posting facts. The facts were told not to speak and were taken away. The facts, surprised to be taken, were silent. Now it was only the rivers that spoke of the rivers, and only the wind that spoke of its bees. While the unpausing, factual buds of the fruit trees continued to move toward their fruit, the silence spoke loudly of silence, and the rivers kept speaking of rivers, of boulders and air, bound to gravity, earless and tongueless. The untested rivers kept speaking. Bus drivers, shelf stockers, code writers, machinists, accountants, lab techs, cellists kept speaking. They spoke the fifth day of silence. The great Jane Hirshfield. Thank you for joining us. These are some original poems. This is called Advertencia. What killed Garcia Lorca is out there somewhere. Be careful when looking around. I knew not to get into it with the guy who said he should have left Spain, had it coming to him, though my eyes boil. Every time someone looks the other way while the fascists kill him again. This is not the little corner you are looking for. If someone gives you false directions when you ask, come back a different night. Death enters and leaves the tavern. Enters and leaves. The ones who flee, the fascists, are not wrong, but neither are the ones who stand. The men who killed Garcia Lorca got away, left him in an unmarked grave. But more so, what killed Garcia Lorca is out there. Johnson's Small Fruit Farm. The old man at Hump Mountain said Mr. Johnson passed away last night. He'd been sick for a while. Miss Johnson says she's done with the farm. I remember picking raspberries the size of strawberries, buckets full of blueberries, crisp apples that snapped when you bit into them. They didn't grow watermelons. No jackfruits hang in that mountain orchard. No cantaloupes. Yes, indeed. So, I have one more poem, and then we'll get to our featured poet. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone, tonight. And then we have a whole host of open mic performers after that. Yes, it was quite an afternoon, watching the events unfold and everything. And I want to also acknowledge that while these, the Proud Boys, these racist protesters who were basically allowed to access the Capitol today, this is also comes in the wake of these things sort of getting lost in the news. But the officer who killed Breonna Taylor was fired for not following procedures, but no charges in the death or anything, and also no charges for the officers who shot Jacob Blake. This just came out the other day. So with all this swirling around, I had this poem I wrote this summer, so I revised it a little bit for tonight. So this is new and rough around the edges, but hey, that's what open mics are for, right? Let's try it out. This is called Lust for Doomsday. And thank you, everyone, for supporting this open mic and getting together and sharing this community with us on Wednesday nights. It is so good to connect with everyone. We hope that we bring a little love into your homes or wherever you may be during these times on the Love Stream. This is a harbinger. Nothing is isolated. They storm state capitals with guns, demanding a return to business as usual. Now they storm the Capitol with Confederate battle flags demanding right-wing coup. Proud Boys, white men with guns and hatred murder black people on their own streets, asleep in their apartments, kneeling on their necks. Tides of white people crest government buildings with assault rifles and military tactical gear waved through by police to shout unmasked death threats at civil leaders. While in many places, as this pandemic swells, people lack the clean water they need to simply wash their hands. More than 2 million people in the U.S. don't have access to running water or basic indoor plumbing, said a report by the experts on water. Many more people have water with towering levels of toxins, the silent arsenic and lead and mercury, the unpronounceable processes by which ever more will perish. Water, the life force. We are still enacting genocide on the indigenous people. We are still exacting genocide on black and brown people. We are still committing genocide on our own families and neighbors. Genocide for re-election. Genocide for re-election. He will divide us to change the election, but the minions keep working. Genocide against the poor. We glorify rapists and abusers and apologize for them and make those men our leaders. The rich get a free pass while the poor get poorer and still pay their taxes. Yes, we work hard to support the wealthy. In Charlotte, where my mother lives, people are gunned down daily in her neighborhood. Just around the corner, across the street, right next door, where the sound of gunshots is commonplace as birdsong. And through this, the wealthiest people in the world say we can't afford health care for everyone. while they magically manufacture cash to bail out their precious banks and steakhouses, and that these times are no global crisis we could come together around to change our world for the better for all. No, that sees only an opportunity to make more money, to power grab, to gut safe nets, to eat their neighbors. Politicians sell off stocks at great profit before telling the people and demand that we die, demand that black people die, demand that Latinos and indigenous people die. Your friend who works at the Waffle House die so they can get us back to work, killing animals and killing the planet. This is the normal you want to go back to. We can think so much greater for us all. Come to the garden in spring. There's wine and sweethearts in the pomegranate blossom. If you do not come, these will not matter. If you come, these will not matter. And I thought I'll leave you with the little Rumi of the Barks there. As a transition to our wonderful featured poet tonight, who I'm so excited to have on the show. Thank you for the comments, by the way. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Absolutely. Sign up. There's a sign up sheet on Facebook. Or since we're started now, we'll go ahead and post the link in the comments on YouTube and Facebook as well, so you can join in. If you're performing tonight, just make sure to follow that StreamYard link, enter name, enter the broadcast studio, and we'll get you on here as soon as possible. But first, we have a really powerful feature poet tonight, and I thought that this would be a great way to kick off the new year with some powerful, positive poetry for y'all. And bring us some balance here tonight. Tracy Schmidt is a wonderful poet in our community here in Asheville, and it's a pleasure to have her on. I'm going to tell you about her now. Tracy Smith is an award-winning poet and performer whose work has been published in numerous journals and anthologies. She has performed poetry around the country at TEDx and looks forward to being able to perform again after COVID, as we all do, certainly. Her book of poetry, I Have Fallen in Love with the World, from Turtle Dove Press in 2011, was published to rave reviews, as well as a CD of the work, of Rumi, Hafez, and her own poetry called Returning Home. And she does, you can buy these on the website, or you can just talk to her, especially if you're here in Asheville, and get the book and the CD. Wonderful work there. And of course, that's one thing Tracy and I have always connected on, is our love of the mystical poets, Jalaluddin Rumi and Hafez and others. Her award-winning touring museum exhibit, The Awakening of Turtle Island, Portraits of Native Americans, opened for the Olympics in 1996, won the Regional Designation Award in the Humanities, and has toured over 18 museums and cultural centers in the Southeast. She attended the Portfolio Center in Atlanta, where she won numerous awards for her work. More of her work, touring schedule, and classes can be seen at her website, tracysmith.com. We'll post that link for you. And, of course, she lives in the gray blue mountains of Asheville, North Carolina, with a big garden, a white turtle dove, and 2 hives of bees. She has fallen in love with the world. She is still not sure how it happened. Our viewers out there tonight, wherever you are, if you're at home or in your car or in public, or maybe down on the patio outside the Kava bar, get your last drinks and jump up and down, click your heels together, spin around, shout and make a whole bunch of noise for our featured poet tonight. Y'all, please welcome Tracy Schmidt. Hi, Tracy.
Hey, Caleb. Good to be here.
It's so great to have you on tonight. Thank you for being here and joining us tonight. It's so great to see you.
I live right around the corner from the Kava bar, so I feel, like it's just an extension of the Kava bar.
Oh, that's cool. I live right near there too. We must be neighbors.
Yeah, we must be neighbors.
It's so funny with the pandemic and the isolation, how people even here in Asheville and we're neighbors and gee, I haven't seen you in such a long time, but it's good to be able to connect virtually.
Yeah.
When we can't get together in person. Absolutely. For the wonderful poetry readings we have around town here.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a big deal to be able to connect virtually right now for me.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, anyway, I'd love to hear about what you've been up to with your work lately, and I'm also really curious about the Native American portrait exhibit.
Oh, yeah.
I never got to see that. Is that still something?
Yeah, it's been here in Asheville. It was here.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's been at the Cherokee Museum in Cherokee, North Carolina. The reservation.
Of course, yeah, no, kind of lefty. Yeah.
Yes, it's been there twice, and it was one of those things where little known weird fact about me. I inherited all my grandfather's books about Buddhism when I was a teenager, and decided I wanted to become a Buddhist nun. So I moved to Japan to become a Buddhist nun when I was 18 years old.
Oh wow, you went through with it. Cool.
I did. It was such an incredible experience, I can't tell you. While I was there meditating 8 hours a day, I had this epiphany, and the epiphany was, it was sort of like, God or whoever, decides he's going to talk to, or she's going to decide to talk to us, came to me in my meditation and said, "Yo, little sister, if I had wanted you to be born a Japanese Buddhist nun, I would have made you one, but I didn't." That was not by chance.
Oh my gosh.
Get your white derriere back to America. Because that is where you are supposed to be working. And I was 18, so I was like, yeah, sorry, can't do that job for you. I got some other things I want to be doing right now. I said no. Basically, I said no. And
the spirit got real with you.
I got sick, and I felt like I was sick because I wasn't doing what I was being asked to do, which was to come back to America and to find what was uniquely American that reminded me of the inclusiveness and the spaciousness of Buddhism. And so I came back to America kicking and screaming, didn't know what it was I was looking for, said to God, "You're going to have to somehow take me to wherever it is you want me to go, because I have no clue what it is I'm supposed to be doing here." And when I was 27, I met Thomas Banyaka, the tribal spokesperson for the Hopi, and I knew immediately that I was supposed to work with Native people, but I was very shy, and it took me a couple more years before I really started that project. So it was really like I was called to work with Native people, and so I was a photographer. I went to the Portfolio Center and studied commercial photography, and I thought, well, I don't really know what to do. I don't know how I'm supposed to fulfill this calling, but I know that I see beauty here. And, one of my favorite poets, Johann Goethe, who started the Romantic movement in literature in Europe, said, "Beauty is a welcome guest anywhere." By the way, I don't know if you know this, but Goethe had Hafez's work translated from Farsi into German, and was one of the first people to have Hafez's work translated into any European language, because he believed that Hafez was his twin soul.
Wow, I did not know that about Goethe. That is fascinating.
Yeah. So I started making photographs of people, and I started showing them as fine art. And then I had people ask me really weird elementary questions like, "Hey, is that you dressed as a Native American man?" And I'd think, "Huh?" And so I would jokingly say, "No, I gave up cross-dressing years ago, and I'd say, "Why are you asking me this question?" And they go, "Well, where would you have found Native people?" And I'd say, "Well, in Cherokee." And they'd go, "Who lives there?" And I'd say, Cherokees. And so I went back and I interviewed all the people that I photographed because I realized that we in the Southeast really don't have any educational foundation to appreciate and understand Native people. And so one thing
been sort of erased from our education too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So for me, it was like an offering to help build a bridge between Native people and non-Native people. And I have to tell you that it just changed my life to do that work because I got to go move in with Native elders and spiritual people and really just witness what they were doing in their lives. And it was fabulous. So that's what that's about. It's called The Awakening of Turtle Island Portraits of Native America. And I have to tell you that the light in the center of it is a life-size holograph that I created, which is really cool. Of Amy Walker. For those of you who know any herbalists in Asheville, Amy Walker is a renowned herbalist from Cherokee, who's just a fabulous human being. And it's a holographic style video projection of Amy Walker.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah, it was very fun.
That is so fascinating. I'm gonna have to once things open back up, I'm gonna have to go to Cherokee and check that out.
Wish it's in my storage unit at the moment. It's not being stored.
Oh right. Oh, okay. Yeah.
But
when it comes back out, let me know. Yeah.
Yeah. Museums are not really booking stuff right now, unfortunately.
Right. Of course. Yeah. Well, that is fascinating. I'm so that is so cool how you found your calling with all that and were able to really bring this incredible project to fruition. So what are you up to these days? I know you have the book out now and you have the CD, and we're actually going to play a little bit from the CD after your reading. So have you been able to write any new stuff, or what has this journey been like? Wonderful.
I have been writing. I've managed to survive COVID, I think mostly by building things. I'm one of those people that I love to build things with my hands. I've been building lots of things to keep me sane and writing for sure. And I have a friend in Charlotte, North Carolina, that's big into Burning Man, and he's an old photography partner, Jim McGuire. Some of you guys might know him. He's been shooting some videos of me and my musicians, and we're putting those together to when I start touring again, to use them as touring things, which I'm very excited about.
That is so exciting. Yeah. That's what I'm doing. Well, that's good. Sounds like you're gonna hit the ground running when things open back up. So that is good to know. And I understand you've brought some poems to share with us tonight.
I do. Yeah, I have a few, and just give me like a do this, when you want me to stop, because I can't really look at the clock and read poetry at the same time. So just tell me when to.
I'll let you know if it's going over. But I'll just go ahead and hand it over to you for a little bit, and then I'll come back on and we can play that track real quick for the people, and then we'll have some open micers.
Yeah.
All right.
So I was going to say, I was going to open with a poem about someone that you all may know, a fabulous person named Richard Crutchfield, who was teaching dowsing here in Asheville, really a renowned dowser, and also studied and taught poetry up at Boone. Did you know him, Caleb? Fabulous guy.
I swear I know that name. I'm trying to place him right now.
I'm surprised you didn't know him. He passed last year.
Is he a playwright too?
Yes. His son is a playwright. His son is a playwright. Yeah.
He came to my book release years ago. Wonderful people, both of them. Yeah, absolutely. I'm so sorry to hear he passed. Yeah.
His son is a very good playwright. And Richard, because he was so connected to nature, I do this thing at Malaprop's bookstore here in Asheville. It's called Poetry on Request. And I sit at a table. I do it once a month, and you just walk in.
Yeah.
I interview you, and I write a poem for you on the spot, and it's really great fun. It's a great challenge.
Right. And you've been doing that for a while now, right?
I've been doing that for a couple of years. Emika, who owned Malaprops before she sold it.
Emika. Yeah.
I know, right? She's such an icon here in this town. Still,
an amazing poet too,
and an amazing poet
and translator. Yeah,
and translator. So Richard came in. I've known Richard for years. He came in, and I interviewed him, and I wrote this poem for him, and was so glad to be able to share it with his family when he passed. Anyway, it's called Returning.
All right, I'll turn it over to you, Tracy. Thank you.
I began as a chorus, as a bird song of ecstasy that carried me far into the fields of light and remembrance. Each flower's fragrance singing wildness into the air, the way orchestras of geese lift us into the higher octaves of sound. They have borne me into a language that only silence knows. You can ask me my secrets. I have a key to that door. I live in the house of gratitude, where I thrash ripe wheat, wet with rain and birth. Seeds are planted now. Pollen is brought in sacred bundles. It is a food I have always wanted. No longer muted in a betrayal of myself. It has created me in his image, full of forgotten power and a longing to be known. So I'm going to try to do these by memory, but I haven't performed in a while, so I've got my cheat sheets here just in case I need them. This one is called Our Longing, and I had been home with my family, which had not been a fun experience. It was over Christmas. And I came back, and I was house sitting for some friends here in Kenilworth where I live, and they left me this beautiful Christmas food, and I was stuffing it in my face like a starving child, and I said, "Step away from the fruitcake, Tracy, and write a poem about it." So it is called Our Longing. I have become a consumer of everything around me to distract me from my emptiness. I am an unfilled chalice, afraid of itself. Any power which lights into me, I pour out immediately, as if politely making room for something else. Like stars that go unseen by busy people. This mystery of self and other is so simple as to elude us again and again. Today, an evergreen tree waved at me as if to say, "You are seen. You are seen." All of life says this in one way or another. A rose offers her fragrance to us. A flowering dogwood remains still enough to allow us to climb into her arms. Life is like this, entreating us to drink from the open well and be satisfied. Then our thirst becomes a friend. Then our thirst becomes a friend, and we no longer mistake a mirage for that which can quench our longing. This next one is called Building a Shrine. And I was walking in the woods in Brevard with some people that I did not know that were from Warren Wilson. And this man turned to me and he said, "My life so far has been like trying to put a very large love through a pinhole." And I said, "Oh, that's a good line. Can I have that?" And I got his name and number and called him up after I wrote the poem. And it turned out it was Sid Jordan, who had started the Prama Institute, which is a meditation retreat center up in Marshall. And it was Sid Jordan who brought the great Robert Bly here to ASHEViLLE, who started the men's movement here in the United States. He's now about, 87, 88 years old. And it was watching Robert Bly recite his own translations of Hafez to Free Planet Radio that made me realize that poetry really is meant to be heard to music. And that's apparently how it's done in the Middle East, where Hafez is from, what is now called Iraq. And so now, when I'm not performing on Zoom or this kind of thing, I do it all to music, which I just think is a perfect combination. So anyway, it's called Building a Shrine. My life so far has been like trying to put a very large love through a pinhole. I have tried to make myself small enough to fit into this world, but finally the shell has rent in two, and the shrine of my being has emerged. We are guided home on an invisible thread. One day the distance between ourself and the whole simply disappears. And then the love fits perfectly. There is so much work to do in this world when we could simply choose to be ecstatically happy, to take rocks and driftwood and build an altar to all that is good inside of us, and to set our one shining life on fire. So this is one I wrote. I was with the wonderful Glennis Redmond, who I know we all miss now that she's moved down to Greenville to be closer to her family. And she was leading a poetry writing workshop at Malaprops, and I was there. It was she said, we're going to write poetry about grief. And I thought, well, there is really something I don't want to do. But, I was like, okay, write the poem. So I wrote the poem. And then she said, well, you can just say pass if you want to. You don't have to read your poem. So I wrote the poem, and I thought, yeah, I am so saying pass on this one. And of course, everyone in the group read their poem, and I was the last person. So I said to myself, come on, little sister, read your poem. So when I read it out loud, I realized it was not the worst poem written in the state of North Carolina, which I had convinced myself of. And it really helped me to understand the importance of reading poetry out loud so that, you can sort of hear it in the room. You somehow can hear the cadence of it. You can somehow feel the energy, whether it's successful or not successful. It works, it doesn't work. It's just such an important thing. For those of you who are writing, you've probably figured that out. I'm friends with Daniel Ladinsky, the Hafez translator, and he and I did a small tour together, and he said, I figured that out, that you need to hear your poems out loud, that, he would call friends and recite, because he's a recluse, he would call them over the phone and read them over the phone to him. Well, he so wore his friends' ears out that he had to resort to leaving poems on people's voicemail. So anyway, this is called Grief. Grief, my tag-along noble friend. Grief that I was born with, brought in on the tombs from Cairo, smuggled in from Las Cruces, nurtured into being on a reservation. Grief, my wrenching alcoholic father, mother, sister story. I need you no more. You have served me well. Remembered my birthdays and Christmas. Been there late at night. I don't know why I've outgrown your ashen, lonely colors, your pursed, downturned lips, your empty house, blood red and rageful. Rageful into the dusk and dawn of chained existence. Go. Go and find your peace elsewhere. This heart is birthing love. So we probably have time for one more before my 15-minute ends. Let me see, do I have a message that says anything? Nope, good, we're good to go. This one is called I Heard a Whisper. I heard a whisper in the night. I awoke to no one but the stars to listen to. Somehow, their light broke through the window and spoke a language my heart recognized and remembered. It turned me towards myself again, someone I had silenced years ago. It seems we let strangers into the house, only to turn ourselves away, carrying the soft carcass of our longing like a burden for a later that never comes, or listening with no holiness in our ears. It renders the wild and magnificent pinions of our lives to fold into an empty field, rendering us earthbound and strangely disconnected to the conversant sky. Now, like an infant in your arms, open the closed envelope and read the invitation you crafted so long ago. An ancient verse calling you back to yourself. Cradle the parched spoken and unspoken words like a template. Listen. Can you hear it? The sky has opened up again into a raucous symphony of sound. Happy that the parts of you knocking at the door for readmittance, clothed in forgotten light, has come home. So Caleb, I'm thinking...
Thank you, Tracy.
You're welcome.
Sorry to cut you off there. I wanted to say that was such a beautiful reading. Thank you. Big applause. Yeah.
Thank
you. But anyway, yeah. Thank you for being here tonight. That was so fascinating. I love the stories behind the poems and everything. I think I was at that Robert Bly reading in Asheville.
Oh, you were?
And at Diana Wortham.
Yeah.
Was that it? Yeah. That changed my life. I mean,
me too. Oh my God, me too. High five.
Probably everyone who walked out of there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
did you go to the workshop the next day?
I missed it.
Yeah, can I tell you a funny story that happened at that workshop?
Yeah, please do.
I went to the workshop, and I've memorized the work of Hafez and Rumi. And before I even started to memorize my own work, I was memorizing their work. And so that's a big deal for Robert Bly. He really believes in the power of memorizing poetry, which I agree with. And so he goes, who here has memorized poetry? Well, I mean, I'm like, raise my hand. Yeah. So I had just broken my wrist in 5 places. I had a metal plate that had just been put in, and I was on medications that were so strong I could not remember my middle name. So there I am reciting a poem.
And you're at the Robert Bly thing,
right? With my one arm in a sling, and so I can recite this Hafez poem in my sleep. I can recite it backwards. I know it so well, but because I'm on these pain medications, about a fourth of the way into the poem, I cannot remember the rest of the poem at all. But because I'm on pain medications, I don't care.
Right.
I'm reciting to Robert Bly, Hafez, and I forget it. It was just hilarious.
That's so great. What a great. That's charming. What a lovely story. Yeah, that's fantastic. I loved Bly's translations, and you really said it there with the memorization. I think it really for me, and I don't memorize as much as I'd like to, but for me it can be really helpful in the editing process, because I feel like if there's a part you keep tripping over in the memorization, there's probably something there you should go back and look at.
I agree.
A really great poems, I feel like certain really good poems are easier to memorize.
I agree.
Because even with, not because of like a particular rhyme scheme or rhythm or anything, but just, certain poems have that flow to them.
Yeah.
And
did you ever see
say what?
Did you ever see that Maya Angelou talking about the importance of memorizing poetry?
I guess not.
She was on C-SPAN one day. I was watching her before she passed, and she was talking about how her son, she had one son who she taught to memorize poetry. He called her up on the phone, and he said, "Mom, will you recite that poem that we learned together?" So she recites this very long poem over the phone to him. He's an adult when he calls her. And he lives in another town at that point. And so she recites this very long poem to him over the phone. He goes, "Oh, Mom, that's good, but you missed a few lines. Do it again." So she recites this very long poem again over the phone to him, and he says, "Mom, can we do it together?" So then they recite the poem again over the phone to each other. And by then she realizes something's up, And he goes, "Oh, thanks, Mom. They just finished taking 100 stitches out of my back." He had come her from the emergency room and knew that listening to poetry would help him through that difficult moment.
The power of poetry, right?
Right? And so then Maya leans into the camera and she goes, "You need that. You need that." And I literally was like, "Oh my God, she's right. I need to memorize poetry." And it was literally the next day that I started to memorize my favorite poet and then eventually memorize my own work.
Beautiful.
And it was just so great because I can't tell you how many times I've been in the post office waiting in line, or someone cuts me off in traffic. I'm having a bad moment. And I just whip out one of those poems on myself. And it's like a friend has pulled up next to me and has got something fabulous to say and completely shifts my mood. It's really like having a jewel in your pocket to have a poem memorized that you can share.
I know. I enjoy that too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a like singing your favorite song or something, when you're in a bad place. That's really cool. And you also speak about the importance of reading aloud. And I think that's something especially a lot of these open micers connect with, because I know we talk about that a lot. For me, like reading aloud in front of people has become a part of my writing process. So like going to poetry readings and sharing something at an open mic and stuff can really help me get a better sense of the poem when I read it to someone else. Yeah. So that's really cool.
Yeah. I love that you rewrote your poem and shared it today without really having read it much. I thought that was very brave and fabulous.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I was very nervous, but thank you. That means a lot, Tracy. Thank you.
I'm from Georgia, so I'm so proud, that
yes, and
so
we should acknowledge that. Yes, way to go, Georgia. Yeah,
way to go, Georgia. Thank you,
We're
Georgia.
all rooting for Georgia.
Oh my God, yeah.
Well, anyway, before you take off, I want to get to this fabulous track, which you recorded with Free Planet Radio, which I have to say is really one of my favorite bands ever to come out of Asheville, and that says a lot because you know how much good music we have here in Asheville.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited to share this, and I want the people to hear this beautiful music. So
and it may be worth mentioning, Caleb, that Chris Rosser produced this CD, and I recorded it in his studio. He's
Chris Rosser of Free Planet Radio.
Yeah, he is just an incredible recording artist, and I cannot recommend him more highly.
Absolutely. All right. All right. Well, let's say goodbye. And then I'll play you out with the track. But Tracy, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Some comments there. Long story short, people liked it. And also the website there, if y'all want to check out more of Tracy's work and keep up with what she's doing.
It's actually Tracy Schmidt Poetry.com.
Oh, okay. I wondered why I had two different ones. Okay, there it is. Tracy Schmidt Poetry.com. Yeah. Y'all check it out. And Tracy, thank you again so much for being here tonight. Absolutely. Y'all give it up one more time for Tracy. All right, fabulous. Okay, so y'all sit back and enjoy this wonderful track from Tracy's CD with Free Planet Radio called Make a List, and we'll be right back in just a second with our open micers. I think Kevin Evans is up next. Y'all stay tuned. This is Tracy Schmidt.
Make a list of things you love. Swirling flowers curled into buds about to bloom. A friend's gorgeous hair. Your own soul on fire. Let them reach in and lift the pressing weariness of this world. Releasing the false belief that the tender infant that your life is was ever meant to be a burden. Releasing the false belief that the tender infant that your life is was ever meant to be a burden. In this new year, open the tiny buds. Watch them transfer their fragrant joy. Brush one beautiful strand after another and repeat. Freedom is the open mouth of my life and is everywhere shouting for more. Like a moth, step into the light of your own fire, waiting to burst into flames. Like a prayer, ready to leave this world more beautiful than when we came into it.
That was Tracy Schmidt, y'all, our featured poet for tonight. Thank you so much, Tracy, for being here tonight. What a great way to kick off the new year with some very centering, grounding, powerful poetry. Thank you for that, Tracy. All right, we got some awesome open mic performers coming at you next. We're super excited about it. I do want to give a shout out though to our sponsor, Sovereign Kava, making it happen now for 10 plus years here in Asheville. We're bringing the open mic to you wherever you are in the world now, via the Poetry Open Mic Asheville Love Stream, which we do each and every Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, U.S. And we invite you to join and share your poetry or performance, whatever form it may take as well. My name's Caleb Beissert. It's always a pleasure to be your host. And let's get down to it. We got Kevin Evans up next on the mic. And let me tell you, we got a whole bunch of great open micers coming up. Then we got Sabina in the house tonight. And KJ, Christopher T. George, Lee Stockdale. We got Gabriel, Aaron, Chase, Justin. We got another Justin. We got Emilio. So we got a lot of awesome poets in the house tonight. Y'all keep it locked here at Poetry Open Mic Asheville. And put your hands together for the one and only Kevin Evans. Give it up, folks. Kevin. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm doing pretty well, all things considered.
Very good, very good. Happy New Year, man. Did you have an all right New Year?
Happy New Year. Yeah, I mean, I've been on call for work, so like,
Oh, of course.
so last
Hey,
week
I
was
didn't do
pretty busy
anything
with
for New
that.
Year's, but you've been staying busy with that, huh?
Yeah, last week I did, and then we're back to normal work this week. I was
Cool.
technically on vacation last week, but whatever. It
Whatever.
works out like that sometimes.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Well, what you been up to? I know you've been writing poetry.
Not much. I have one little snippet of something I'll read. Then the rest of it's gonna be like older material or things like that.
Okay, yeah, that's always good. Very cool. Well, I'll turn it over to you, and we'll let these folks hear the good poetry. And
Oh, thanks,
yes,
man.
yeah. All right, cool. Y'all, give it up one more time for Kevin Evans.
All right. Good evening. It feels like it's been a while. Um, okay, so this first piece is kind of about people's need to escape, any kind of escapism or need to escape reality, but always still finding yourself on Earth somewhere. Um, and it's untitled. I wrote this, I guess, the other week. It's not really done, but we'll read from that to start with. I tried to drive as close to the moon as possible without getting lost completely somewhere on Earth, somewhere at home. No matter how close, no matter how far I take you with me, and I can't touch you, even if I can see you live in person, coexisted in same room with same mission to love, be loved, oh beloved. This bond, I trusted because I noticed I wasn't the only traveler holding crazy baggage, and we don't have to just catch the message in our so-called final ashes. Damn it, I can't drive to the moon, but I don't need to love you. All right. Okay. This one is entitled Shoes. It's one of those I just came across and all but forgot about. April 16th, 2012, I believe it was written. I think that's what that says. So this is Shoes. Bear with me. Grease up your horse or motorcycle. Speed up, pull the reins, but the weather is evil at this time. Rain and lightning light, and the hail falling out of the darkened skies. Then let it rain, rumble and bang, but hold tight right away. Take notice to the winds of change.
Well, shoot, I do believe we lost Kevin there. That's very unfortunate because we love hearing from Kevin. We're gonna see if we can get Kevin reconnected for you here. No worries. We'll get him reconnected here. In the meantime, we may need to go to our next poet. So let's see. where we're at here. Okay. All right, yeah, Kevin, if you're out there, see if you can reconnect. We'll get you connected again here so we can hear your poetry. Do we have Sabina ready? Sabina ready to go? All right. Let's see if we can beam in Sabina. Awesome, great. Yes, we do have Sabina. That is good. Wonderful. It's so good to see them. It's been a while. Y'all give it up. Make some noise for Sabina.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hi.
How are you doing? I haven't seen you in forever.
I know.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, the cool thing about this being online is that I get to be part of it all the way from New Mexico.
New Mexico. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. That's right. You moved to New Mexico. When did you leave Asheville? Like
I don't know, like
a
almost
while ago now.
2 years ago or something.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well,
So-
it was always good. Sabina used to do the in-person open mics with us at the Kava bar, and we always had a great time there on Wednesday nights. And it's always good to hear your poetry. So I'm so glad you could join us live from New Mexico tonight.
Thank you.
So wonderful, cool. Well, what have you been up to? Have you been able to write much during all this?
Well, I just recently hit this like creative blossoming where like
Cool.
I've kind of come past a writer's block,
Uh-huh.
but I don't know. I haven't been writing a ton, but I am again now. So that's
Well, I totally get that. I think sometimes we need those periods of time to kind of let it simmer, and then hopefully you get those creative blossoming periods as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's been simmering, and like I feel like that's kind of what this past year was like. It was like this big. I can't even put a word to it, but
No, I can totally relate. Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like I've been like reborn with insights.
Yes, yeah. I've definitely I feel recharged creatively in a lot of ways. So
Cool.
That's cool. I can relate. Well, wonderful. You have some poems to share with us tonight?
Yeah, I have
All right.
something of mine, and then I'm just gonna share some other poetry of
Great.
other people because I like reading poetry of other people too.
Cool, and I love to know what other poets are reading too. That's always nice. So, great to see you here, Sabina. I'm gonna turn it over to you and let you share the good poetry.
Okay.
Awesome. Y'all give it up one more time for Sabina.
Alrighty. So, hello to whoever may be watching from wherever you are. May our spirits be together, even though we are not physically. And thank you, Caleb, and whoever else puts this on for creating the space for poetry to still be shared. This is something that I wrote on a typewriter. It's something I've been enjoying doing recently. And it was just like quick, just mind splooging. It's called My Seal Eum. My Seal Eum. My so my throat. I'm gonna drink some tea. Okay. My so comes the chatter of collected thoughts I speak, not of the look of it, but the feeling. Here we are. I practice using my fingers to type as I might, peel the skin back and draw your sword. Mighty as I am, I cannot stop the swell of the wound. Thank you. That was my writing. And now I'm going to read a poem by Pablo Neruda, a Cuban writer, a writer from Cuba, and a beautiful one at that. Night on the Island. All night I have slept with you, next to the sea, on the island. Wild and sweet you were between pleasure and sleep, between fire and water. Perhaps very late our dreams joined at the top or at the bottom. Up above like branches moved by a common wind, down below like red roots that touch. Perhaps your dream drifted from mine, and through the dark sea was seeking me as before, when you did not yet exist. When without sighting you, I sailed by your side, and your eyes sought what now bread, wine, love, and anger I heap upon you, because you are the cup that was waiting for the gifts of my life. I have slept with you all night long while the dark earth spins with the living and the dead. And on waking, suddenly in the midst of the shadow, my arm encircled your waist. Neither night nor sleep could separate us. I have slept with you, and on waking, your mouth come from your dream, gave me the taste of earth, of seawater, of seaweed, of the depths of your life, and I received your kiss, moistened by the dawn, as if it came to me from the sea that surrounds us. That was Night on the Island by Pablo Neruda. I'm just gonna have a little bit more tea. If I had Kava tea, I'd be drinking it in honor of the Kava bar. It's pretty hot, that's why I'm slurping it. Alrighty. Next up, because I just am really liking reading other poets' work lately. I've just been reading out loud to myself poetry and different writings, and I feel like I'm gathering it more, and it feels nice to share things that maybe you wouldn't have stumbled upon. So here is a poem from Passwords by William Stafford, and it's called The Day Millicent Found the World. Every morning, Millicent ventured farther into the woods. At first, she stayed near light, the edge where bushes grew, where her way back appeared in glimpses among dark trunks behind her. Then by farther paths or openings where giant pines had fallen, she explored ever deeper into the interior, till one day she stood under a great dome among columns, the heart of the forest, and knew. Lost. She had achieved a mysterious world where any direction would yield only surprise. And now not only the giant trees were strange, but the ground at her feet had a velvet nearness. Intricate lines on bark wove messages all around her. Long strokes of golden sunlight shifted over her feet and hands. She felt caught up and breathing in a great, powerful embrace. A bird call wandered forth at leisurely intervals from an opening on her right. Come away, come away. Never before had she let herself realize that she was part of the world and that it would follow wherever she went. She was part of its breath. Aunt Dolby called her back that time, a high voice tapering faintly among the farthest trees. Millicent! Millicent! And that time she returned, but slowly, her dress fluttering along, pressing back branches, her feet stirring up the dark smell of moss, and her face floating forward, a stranger's face now, with a new depth in it, into the light. I love that poem because it is kind of a prose poem, and it's about getting lost and the beauty of that. And sometimes when we think we're lost, we're actually quite close to where we came from, but we found a whole new world. And that's what I feel being here back in my hometown. It's things that I have seen before thousands of times, millions of times, quadrillions of times before, but I am different inside, just as her face floating forward, a stranger's face now, with new depth in it, into the light. So no matter where we are, even if we've been there before, there is still the potential to get lost and to breathe new life into where we are. So with that, I leave you all for the evening, and I thank you for listening. Alrighty.
Thank you, Savannah. That was a beautiful and insightful poetry reading. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's such a thank you for sharing that perspective there at the end too. That's really valuable. And I loved your readings of the William Stafford and the Neruda pieces, and of course your own poem as well, the mycelium piece. Beautiful work.
Thank you, Caleb.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks for coming by tonight, and I really hope you can come back and join us sometime. We're here every Wednesday.
Aw, I hope so too.
Good. It's good to reconnect, and take care out there, and yeah, thanks for being here tonight, Savannah. Good to see you.
Thank you, Caleb. You too.
Absolutely. Y'all give it up one more time for Savannah. Yes. And that's actual applause from the Kava Bar open mic. Recorded, of course, but we try to give it the real feel. And keep it going, keep the poetry going, keep the place for creativity and gathering here on Wednesday nights, even in the virtual realms. We'll bring back the in-person open mic eventually, but it's so great to be able to connect with y'all on the Poetry Open Mic ASHEViLLE. Love Stream, coming at you live from Asheville, North Carolina. My name is Caleb Beissert. It's always a pleasure to be your host. Of course, if I didn't mention earlier, if you are performing tonight, you have a free double shot of Kava waiting on you at the Kava bar as a thank you to us. Just give them your name, tell them you're performing on the open mic, and they'll hook you up. Of course, be sure to wear a mask if you're going by Sovereign Kava. They are open for to-go orders right now, and we will be fully open again in the future, so y'all stay tuned. Anyway, I think we have Kevin. Oh no, we don't have Kevin reconnected. I thought we had Kevin reconnected. Oh well. Anyway, some comments here for Sabina. Okay, we do have Kevin, right? Excellent. Okay. Well, we'll get Kevin back on here real quick. Let him finish his reading. And then we got some more wonderful poets coming at you after Kevin. We got KJ, Christopher, Lee, Gabriel, Aaron, Chase, Justin, Emilio. So, anyway, if you're performing tonight, get connected and we'll get you on here as soon as possible. Y'all give it up one more time for Kevin Evans. Kevin!
Okay.
Alright, cool. We got you working now. Technology, man. I know all about it. You know. It's funny. Morgan, and by the way, our technical director tonight is Morgan Beissert, of course, my brother. And he put together that look back at some of our featured poets over the last year, which we aired a couple weeks ago, right before Christmas.
Was cool.
So you can find that on our YouTube. But yeah, it starts off with some of the first ones of these we did, where I'm like, you know, on my phone, like tapping the screen, like, okay, let me see if I can bring Kevin on. Nope, I can't seem to get Kevin connected. Hold on, folks. You know, like, we've come a long way.
Yeah.
So, you know, a little hiccup there is to be expected, but that's all right. Glad we got you reconnected. And I forgot to mention earlier, Kevin and I have a show coming up on January 22nd and 23rd, and it's going to be the Poetry Cabaret Isolated Edition at the Asheville Fringe Festival, and you can get tickets, which are on sale now at ashevillefringe.org. Kevin Evans will be appearing in the show, as well as myself, and some other wonderful poets who you know, James Mackay of London, and Terry Ellen Cross Davis, who's up in D.C. Our hearts go out to all our D.C. friends tonight, of course. You know, what's going on there. I hope everyone's safe. But anyway, all right. So, where did we leave off? We got you had the one new poem, and then you were starting into some old ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll start from there.
Okay.
And
right.
Thanks. Cheers.
Yeah, no problem. I'll turn it over to you, Kevin. Thanks, man.
All right. Okay, this is Shoes. It was written April 16th, 2012. I apologize for the little issues over here. The internet kicked me off. Grease up your horse or motorcycle. Speed up, pull the reins, but the weather is evil at this time. Rain and lightning light, and the hail falling out of the darkened skies. Then let it rain, rumble and bang, but hold tight. Right away, take notice to the winds of change. Find shelter underneath the range in case things between heaven and earth get knocked and switched up out of range. Rearranged where angels welcoming your life hang. She tells you a secret. Only if she feels you will believe it. And if it comes true, you will seek it. Even if your wishes are of blue, would you please put on your running, jumping shoes? Grease up your hair, freshen up your nature skunked, flowers punched with lust all over your body. Like the buzz can't get enough. The air is good and fresh, but it is not rare. Crawl into the wild nest, Share all your given gifts at best, and you will rest well in the chocolate web, in vanilla shell eggs, with dwindled snores and a little kick to pour for mountains singing sweet war, where everything beautiful and natural pops and pours. She tells you a secret, only if she feels you will believe it, and if it comes true, you will seek it, even if your wishes are of blue. Would you please put on your running, jumping shoes? And let's see. There was another old one. I don't know if it'll challenge me or not. Perhaps. It's from December 12th, 2010, actually. It's called Arm. I check my watch. It must be 2 o'clock. Old ships of winter birds sailing in and out of the docks, and when they happen to stop, it's nearly dark. The dog tracks footprints all up and down this mountain hog of dirt, twisted in moss. Then my spirit with the creamy fog is briefly gone, gone, gone. I wish you were here to wash my arms, wish you were here to light my calm, but this feeling in a cozy indoor sanctuary snowed in is not all that exotic to any of them, just wanting somebody else to be filling, to just fill in the blanks. After such a comforting, pleasing night and day, I bid you my own thanks. But sometimes, as we all know, when we get too close, there must inevitably be a little of dissension in the ranks. Give me snow when it's cold any day. I can stand it much more than the rattling of soggy cold rain. I check my watch. It must be 2 o'clock. You're still sharp as I hawk, even when you're gone. Heathens are on the run, and in the madness you are lost. So as am I, looking for you in the dark with my flashlight turned off, and last night to blaze the neighborhood lost a barn. I check my watch. It must be in the middle of the deep, dark, cold December walk. We've done this before. I know we can once again take this on. I check my watch, but it's gone. Just give me your hand. Give me your arm. That was a little rough, but it's definitely been a while since I revisited that. I think I'll just read one more, maybe close out with a little blues harp key of A, and I think that'll be that this time. This one was written October 15th, 2020. It is entitled Invisible Crow's Nest, woven by Spider Who Caught City Key. Something like that. Velveteen crow filled with whipped cream, crushing on my chest as I sleep, rubbing on my neck as I pleasure. You better learn your lesson, lemon harvest. You better learn your lesson, lemon. Giant crow packed with gasoline. I think I cut out again there. I'm sorry. But I'm going to try to still close out with a little blues harp here. Maybe better like next time. Crazy day. maybe y'all caught some of my reading and whatnot. Hopefully most of it. Cheers.
That was Kevin Evans, y'all. Thank you so much, Kevin. I think we caught most of that. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah,
I noticed it cut out. It did some weird stuff again. It gave me a weird message again. But
it's been funky tonight. I think there's a lot of people on the internet tonight. But anyway, we heard you, man, and thank you so much for coming by and sharing the poetry and the harp with us and everything. And yeah, I'll be talking to you soon. Oh yeah, I sent you an email. Check your email.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, cool. All right. It's good to see you, Kevin, man. Happy New Year. We'll see you soon.
Happy New Year. Cheers. All thanks.
Right. Y'all give it up one more time for the one and only Kevin Evans. You're tuned into Poetry Open Mic Asheville, coming at you live from Asheville, North Carolina. My name is Caleb Beissert. It's always a pleasure to be your host here Wednesdays. We do this virtual open mic. We've been doing a real open mic here in Asheville for almost 10 years now, thanks to your support and to Sovereign Kava's support. They're open for to-go orders. You can stop by and get your Kava and get chill in these stressful times. But man, it is good to get together with y'all and sharing this community and this open mic and this poetry and everything. We're gonna keep it going for you tonight, so keep it locked here. Let's see, I think we have KJ up. Yeah, we got KJ up next. Wonderful. Another powerful poet here in Asheville. Let's see if we can get KJ connected. Y'all gonna have to make some noise though. All right, KJ, y'all make some noise for KJ. Give it up. Hey, what's up, KJ? How you doing, man?
I'm all right. How about you?
Good, man. I'm hanging in there.
Yeah.
What you been up to?
I see you serving at Sovereign Kava a whole bunch these days.
I know, man. I'm back at work, and we're getting by. We're making the good Kava and just, we got the to-go set up. We're keeping it safe for everyone. And just trying to get by, man. That's all we can do till we get open back up. But yeah, I know it's good to see you up there. And, And cheers. And you get a free double shot for performing tonight. So be sure to come by and get that. I'll be there tomorrow actually. So come by and see me, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I am doing some of that acting poetry.
That's
with a
right.
company.
You've been doing a lot of that. Tell us about your acting poetry.
With a company called Black Diamond Productions, and we're like very new, but the producer of it is extremely talented.
Y'all been selling out shows, right?
Yeah. But it's like there's issues with setting up at venues and stuff like that because of the social distancing.
Right. Yeah, it's making it real hard for performers right now.
Yeah. I mean, we got like it's 10 maximum per people at a show, and they put on the mask and they social distance, and so and the producer, she's gifted. Her material is good, but she's learning, rough on the edges and all that. But we are having a show. We are having a show on the 30th, and that's
right.
That's at Emoja Collective in West Asheville, North 441 North Louisiana, and all that. So
okay.
I think a majority of the tickets are sold, but I was wondering at the end of the show, could I do give some makeshift information or put it in the chats?
if you put it in the chat, we can post it on screen, especially if you got a link, like
Okay.
to a website or something, more information. I'm happy to post that and promote what y'all are doing for sure.
Cool,
So
cool.
yeah,
I'll put
just
it in
leave
the
us.
chat.
Yeah, put it in the chat when you get done. And yeah, that's great, man. We'll encourage people to go see that. And you know, hey, at least it's easier to sell out shows these days, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a one good problem, I guess. But
Yeah,
anyway,
that's a good problem.
yeah. Well, hey, man, I'm glad you could be here tonight. You gonna share some of that good poetry with us?
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good. All right. Well, I'll turn it over to you, KJ.
Okay,
y'all
cool.
give it up one more time for KJ.
All right, y'all. So I gotta hiccup. Okay, this first poem I wrote in 2017 in honor of the new year. Excuse me. And yeah, it's the name of it is I am running into a new year. I am running into a new year. Hauling ass, reckless abandon, but prudent in thought and action, all wrapped in one. I move forward only, gravitating toward the light only, but with eyes and senses observing from the highest mountain peak and ocean deep to the smallest atom and quark. The result is I will resurrect and translate into the heavens like Brother Enoch and Jesus. I will grow twists in my hair and dye one half blue and the other blonde. I will sparkle, shimmering like water in turquoise and white light. So yeah, that was came from my wild imagination around the New Year. So okay, this next poem is I wrote this around 2020, I think when COVID started. So it's called Great Miracle of Miracles. Great miracle of miracles is that I'm saging and not aging. Big ups to the West Indian and African in me. Ah, already a half a century young, and because I am my own pathway to my journey homeward bound, my own dream come true of wildest of all dreams and fairy tales, my own legend and hero, own light at the end of the tunnel. Check it, the chorus. Children grow and women produce, and men go work and some go stealing. Yes, I am my light at the end of the tunnel, my own savior, my own mighty light tower and divine source temple, and house on a hill of city Jerusalem sunlight, fashioned out of black gold. Women produce burning bush and guiding torchlight as I trudge that narrow path to atonement, reconciliation, redemption, and salvation. Children grow, catch the hook. As I stand and witness to miracle of all miracles, I am light of the world as well as my own light. No more need to seek outwardly. I am the I am, inwardly miraculous, dwelling from within all of space and time of eternity. I am Christ the Savior, Messiah on the cross. I am he who sows and reaps inheritance. Uncle Tom's and Sam's 40 acres and a mule. My territory expanded. I am. I break chains and strongholds of mental, spiritual bondage. Women produce. I am that I am. Children grow. I am the great sages, prophets, saints, men, women of scriptures who roam the planet during thousands of millennia and time immemorial. Am that I am, miracle of miracles who weather storms and persecutions while When men produce, yeah, persecution and prison hell or earth school birth pangs. I am more than a conqueror. I am that I am the great miracle. Now we can go about the master's business. Planet Earth keeps on spinning miraculously as children grow, women produce, and men go work, and some go stealing ad infinitum, ordinary and great miracles. Okay. I got let me see. This one is a two-part poem. Well, the first page is Millennium Vibes 1. Millennium Vibes, page 1. My circles of sunlight. Like effervescent, fluorescent, retro traffic signs on urban pavement. Hot heat and sweat visions inside teepees and saunas and sweat lodges, where a cherry red intoxicated days from many hues of a lantern haze, synonymous to that great godly light tower, or the burnt bushel, where we hide our light behind, refusing to be that great city upon a hill that we are. Millennium Vibes 2. When we deeply listen inside the one. When I listen, I get to. When I see you, when we listen, we get to. When we see us together, providing space inside the feeling space of all five our senses and beyond, inside of a viscerally invigorating, surreal, slow motion, high def, spirit-induced euphoric sleigh ride at the very tip of the northern hemisphere, or during an adrenaline power boost off of funk percussion, as we're fully conscious of infinite spirit, of infinite creation, while at the same time we actualize, we realize our oneness as salt of the earth. Yeah, and I wrote that 2018. And this last one right quick is We Wear the Mask by Paul Laurence Dunbar. We wear the mask that grins and lies. It hides our cheeks and shades our eyes. This debt we pay to human guile. With torn and bleeding hearts we smile, and mouth with myriad subtleties. Why should the world be overwise in counting all our tears and sighs? Nay, let them only see us while we wear the mask. We smile, but, O great Christ, our cries to thee from tortured souls arise. We sing, but oh, the clay is vile beneath our feet, and the long mile. But let the world dream otherwise. We wear the mask. So that one's by Paul Laurence Dunbar. So that's it.
Yeah, thank you, KJ. Great stuff. Thanks for sharing that. And I love your that like COVID poem you wrote too.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, they're just kind of talking about the times we're in, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here tonight. And yeah, man, come by and have some kava. It's always good to see you.
All right.
All right. Peace, KJ. Take care.
All right.
Y'all give it up one more time for KJ. Indeed, and you're tuned into Poetry Open Mic Asheville, coming at you live from Asheville, North Carolina. Many thanks to our sponsor, Sovereign Kava. Thanks to you for tuning in. We really appreciate the likes, comments, and shares. Keep the comments coming. We love to hear from you. Anyway, we're going to keep it rolling because we got some more fantastic performers coming at you tonight. Up next on the list, we have Christopher T. George, Lee Stockdale. Then we got Gabriel, Aaron, Chase, Justin Blackburn, Justin Evans, Emilio. And if y'all are out there, y'all aren't in the broadcast studio yet, please follow that link, click enter the broadcast studio, just so we know you're ready to go and lined up here. But we got Christopher T. George ready to go next, and it's always good to hear from our friend in Delaware. Y'all make a whole bunch of noise for the one and only Christopher T. George. Hello, Christopher.
Hi there.
Greetings.
How you doing, Caleb?
I am well. All considering, I am doing well. How are you doing tonight?
Yeah, considering, as you were saying, what's going on in D.C. I mean,
certainly.
Crazy, man.
Unbelievable. Wow. I mean, we've never seen anything like that.
No.
Like an insurrection in the
well,
Capitol.
You know, I'm a War of 1812
You're a historian.
Historian. Yeah, and I wrote about the British burning of the White House and the U.S. Capitol in 1814. So that was the only previous invasion of the U.S. Capitol back then.
Right.
And
this far back, the British, not even the Civil War. So like the Confederate battle flag being flown there today is the first time that has happened.
Yeah, and somebody else had something about Auschwitz or something. I mean, these people are fascists.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, and you would know how to spot them. You know, you're an expert on.
Well, I mean, it's frightening. I mean, I mean, this is like what happened in the 1920s and 30s in Europe.
Right.
You know, with Mussolini and the rise of Hitler and all of that.
Yeah.
So it's
I mean, Trump came out there and told them to go do this, basically. You know,
exactly.
Egged them on.
Yeah. I mean,
he hasn't really condemned it either.
Well, I mean, as I've said a lot of times, I mean, he shows every single day that he's unfit to be in that office.
You have said that, yes.
You know, so, you know, and yet we've got to live with him for the next 2 weeks.
Oh, 2 weeks can't go quick enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's frightening. It really is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, thank you, Christopher. I appreciate that perspective. You know, I thought, you know, I felt like I couldn't come on tonight and not mention it, and I'm glad you're here to shed some light on that as well. Yeah. Well, anyway, Happy New Year.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, at least we're out of 2020 and now we're in 2021.
Yes,
and
we're moving on.
Maybe there's a light at the end of the tunnel there somewhere.
Somewhere down there, yeah.
You know.
I certainly hope so. Well, I'm glad we can at least be here tonight to share some poetry, you know, and hopefully experience a little catharsis through that. Yeah.
Well, I posted earlier on the Poetry Open Mic ASHEViLLE Facebook page about a competition that closes at the end of January.
Oh, right. Yes.
It's for poems about sense of place with a $1,000 prize. And I'm going to lead off with the last year's winning poem.
Wonderful. And I'll see if we can find a link to that that we can post.
Well, yeah, well,
it's
a poem by Matt Sumter, and I did post the link in
wonderful
what I posted earlier.
Excellent. All right, I'll turn it over to you, Christopher. Thank you.
Okay. Cheers. As I say, this is the winning poem from last year from an organization called Zocalo, and they offer a $1,000 prize for a poem about a place by a U.S. poet. And this is a poem by Matt Sumter, No World. There is no world without end, no morning except this one in Ohio, where ice smooths itself over ice, and neighborhood cats hunch on hoods of idling cars. They live outside by choice, warmed by the kindness of wasted gas. My neighborhood cracks his upstairs door, inviting them to survive, but they ignore it, shying from anything human skin has touched. My neighbor, too old to go beyond the Walgreens or the CVS, bikes each day for groceries and wobbles home with plastic bags hanging from the handlebars like streamers. Sometimes he just circles around the lot, whistling to the cats every couple passes. No world exists without him, greeting them and saying goodbye with one small sound. Inside, I watch footage from a traffic cam in Cleveland, a city park, gazebo, benches, a boy and girl who blurrily glide past. Then they return as a police car runs into the grass. There is no world in which they both walk home alive, hang up their coats, and rush to the kitchen at the smell of soup, forgetting to wipe their shoes. There is no world where this is the final winter, where every poem finally says, "I'm here with you." There is no world without Verona, Shakespeare wrote, meaning no world exists outside Verona, meaning sometimes there is no other place than this. We wake up early, we dress, trying to believe there is no word for exile. On September the 27th last, my late mum would have turned 100. This is a picture of her that was done by a German artist at the end of the Second World War. My father had a photograph, and this German artist did the sketch from the photograph. This is called The Terrible Shears, a quote coming from English poet D.J. Enright. The terrible shears went clack, clack, clack. This year would have been your 100th birthday, Mum. A decade ago, you were slipping away from us in hospice care, diagnosed with kidney failure. Such a well-appointed room. Outside, a blood layer swarmed with butterflies. Donna remarked, "You were too far gone to enjoy such luxury." As with Dad, dying of cancer 40 years ago, I wished I could drag you back from where you had gone, use the jaws of life to restore you to what you'd been. But oh no, the terrible shears. They never stop, do they? The terrible shears going clack, clack, clack. I write a number of poems about other writers. This is called In Search of the Golden Lotus. It's about Sylvia Plath and Ted Hughes. And it starts with a quote from the inscription on Sylvia Plath Hughes's tombstone in Heptonstall graveyard in Yorkshire, England. It's a quote from Wu Cheng An. Even amidst fierce flames, the golden lotus can be planted. You felt dazzled by the promise of Cambridge, languorous calm, Montmartre's sensuous bistros, by depths of Seine, not yet the drowned heads, amputated moons, broken mirrors. A rain-swept graveyard, church of Henry's martyr, stark tombstone, pale stalks of cut daisies. Your lad from the pit village, exotic, like a GI courting a lass. Only in reverse, you, the bobby-soxed New Englander, neon and bubblegum, reaching out to touch the throbbing totem of his verse. to the blood's drumbeat. If only the passion could have swept you away, not the riptide of his disinterest. And I'm going to finish with this one. As some of you will know, I'm originally from Liverpool, England. In 1993, two boys aged 10 in Liverpool murdered a younger boy aged 2. His name was James Bolger. To James Bolger, aged 2, murdered February 1993. Everybody's little boy. The mound of bouquets near the railway embankment says so. The surprised little face, Ninja Turtle t-shirt. Take my hand, I'm your friend. The blurred images on the video. Charles' hand holding Charles' hand. The New Strand Shopping Centre, Liverpool, Bootle, Walton. There are places I remember. Take my hand. I want to hold your hand. When I was younger, so much younger than today, I remember a time when eyes were knee-high, when everything seemed beautiful. His mother in the butcher's shop, come together, hold my hand. Please say to me you'll let me hold your hand. The mound of bouquets by the railway embankment, for everybody's little boy. There are places I'll remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. The photograph among the flowers of the surprised little face, Ninja Turtle t-shirt. A sadness so deep, its tears leave a spectator to a video image, an unlived life. Thank you, Caleb.
That's Christopher T. George. Thank you so much, Christopher. Powerful poetry there. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, it's good to see you. Hope to see you next week.
Yep, I will look forward to that.
Fantastic. I will as well. And everyone out there, give it up one more time for Christopher T. George tonight from Delaware. Take care, Christopher.
Right. Good night, all.
Thank you. All right, you're tuned in to Poetry Open Mic Asheville, coming at you live from North Carolina, broadcasting all over the world tonight. We got Lee Stockdale up next. Another person who probably has an interesting perspective, knowing his background. Fascinating human being and amazing poet. Y'all out there, make a whole bunch of noise for Lee Stockdale. Give it up. Lee, how you doing tonight? Your mic's muted. See if you can unmute your mic. It's muted on your end. There's a little icon on there next to your... There you go. Yeah. Hey, Lee, I can hear you. How you doing?
Well, it's been an interesting day, has it not?
It certainly has, if I may say so. Yes. What's your perspective? Because I know you have personal experience with being in the White House.
Well, my father was a close friend of John F. Kennedy's, and
right.
I was able to meet Jack and a few of the Kennedys, and ask not what you can do for your country. No, what is it? Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. I guess it's just hard to believe that those words were spoken from the very balcony that was attacked today by those people. But you know what?
Right.
I'm all about love. And so, I've got some poems that I hope will bring some love into the house, because I think there's no greater power, truly. Marvin Gaye said, what's going on? He said, whatever he said, only love will conquer war. So.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. The great Marvin Gaye.
The great Marvin Gaye.
Yep, that and sexual healing.
That too, yes. Hey, what a great night. Wow.
It has been, right?
Oh my God. Sabrina, KJ.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been incredible,
KJ. I love that he sang those repeated few lines that he did. That was really effective. Beautiful, really beautiful. I was really moved by that. Yeah. And William Stafford. Hey, William Stafford. I was in a John Lane poetry workshop with
John Lane.
And he mentioned that William Stafford, I know you know this, correct me on the quote, said something to the effect of aim low. Aim low. As you write, like keep your expectations low. I think he said something that was very freeing to me because, hey, man, it's so easy for me to aim low, So
right.
All right.
And then you got a lot of headroom from there. That's fantastic. I love that. It really has been a night, and it's definitely turned my day around. Getting together and doing some poetry with y'all. Thanks for being here. I'll turn it over to you and let you share the poems. All right, thank you, Lee. Y'all give it up for Lee.
Membrane like a circus tent with more colors than the rainbow splashed. Bubble that covers all the earth with all the music ever created. Not only first rhythms of sticks on stone, but music of elephants, parakeets, lions, cymbals on Egyptian dancers' feet, devotees' voices vibrating ashrams, open air Greek choruses, Roman lutes, medieval and Renaissance chanting monks, Bach, Beethoven, Chopin, Liszt, Gatsby's banjos and horns, Ella, Monk, Nina Simone, Coltrane, Elvis, Joni Mitchell, Dylan, Beatles, Stones. Beauty, so curious the universe can't avoid smiling down on and loving our planet. This is called Did You? Did you? Did you see the angels up above? Did you see them replace the clouds in the sky? Did you get the attention of one in particular? Did you ask her to come down into your life? Were you at first a little reluctant to tell her what was on your mind? Were you able to find that place of trust to believe whatever she had to say? Did she tell you anything you didn't know? Did she remind you of your own faith? Did she tell you she'd always been with you? That she was there the day you were born? Did she tell you how much she loved her assignment? Did she tell you how much she loved you? Did you see the light of God in her eyes? Did you see the angels up above? Choices. Love is a choice I make every morning, like which for breakfast, cereal or eggs. I open the cupboard and don't even look at the creepy clown on the box labeled hate with big fun for you. in a child's handwriting to lure them and groom their minds. Love is a decision, which road to take, the interstate's bright yellow sun or traffic is smooth, travelers smile and nod, palm trees sway, car music plays, or dead ends strewn with death, pain, violence. Strange characters loiter, faces to walls. Love, the attitude I try to nurture, often not easy. I often fail to see the sea of diamond-drenched mermaids up on tails, waving to me. The mermaids are, yes, my imagination. For love, sometimes I have to use it. The main thing, love, I choose it. And my last poem, Beacon. Beacon of hope, lighthouse of God, time and space by the Holy Spirit defied. Water that is not a mirage in the desert, daisy that springs up through concrete rubble. Teacher who knows her students not stupid. Father who commits himself to AA. A single drop of faith in the ocean. For the all-time loser, a checkered flag. Political leader who grows a conscience, crushing defeat of racial hate. Joy where sorrow once rented a room. Weapons of war traded in to feed hunger. Oneness of mankind, a baseline premise. Borders rolled up in a ball of string. Understanding how fragile we are. Beacon of hope, lighthouse of God. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. That's Lee Stockdale, y'all. Thank you so much, Lee. I appreciate you sharing that. That's really, you're doing really important work, and it's really good to hear that.
Play piano with you.
Yes, I look forward to it, Lee. I do, definitely.
All right. Okay, man. Thank you.
All right. Have a great night. Thank you, Lee. Y'all give it up one more time. Lee Stockdale.
Thank you.
Excellent. Lee Stockdale on Poetry Open Mic Asheville. Yes, indeed. We're coming at you live from Asheville, North Carolina. Thank you so much for being with us. My name is Caleb Beissert. It's a pleasure to be your host. Our technical director tonight is Morgan Beissert. Our featured poet was Tracy Schmidt. And let's see. I'm gonna do a few poems for you. I do want to mention we have that link there for KJ's acting poetry show. If you want to check that out, please do that. Support local acting productions and check it out. KJ's got some really cool stuff going on, so y'all check out that link, and we'll keep you posted on what he's doing. Thank you, KJ. Appreciate it. And also check out our featured poet tonight at TracySchmidtPoetry.com. All right, cool. Let's see. We don't have much longer here. We're waiting on a few open mic performers. If you're performing tonight, make sure to follow that link. Enter the broadcast studio. And enter your name, and we'll get you on screen here ASAP. We'd love to hear from you. We do have a couple extra spaces tonight. If anyone else wants to jump on, we've got that StreamYard link posted. Just follow that. and we'll get you on screen here to share your poetry, art, whatever form it may take. We'd love to hear from you. We welcome all people, all forms of artistic self-expression here at Poetry Open Mic Asheville. And thank you to Sovereign Kava, our sponsor. If you perform tonight, you have a free double shot waiting on you at the bar. Just be sure and wear a mask when you go by. We're open noon to 9 every night. Shout out to our friends down there tuning in at the bar, closing it down. We love you. We appreciate you. All right, let's see. Who else do we have tonight? This is all original music. Myself, my band, the Kava Lactones. Check us out at kavalactonesmusic.com. And, we got more. Yes, shout out to my friend Max Milner. I love you, buddy. You're out there. Shout out to all our Kava people. All our friends tuning in all over the world. Shout out to Mom and Dad. And happy birthday. Dad's got a birthday coming up. Alright, I'm gonna do a few poems here. Yes, that's the link there. If anyone else wants to perform tonight, you got a little bit of time left. Alright. I'm gonna do this poem. This is a poem about disappearing things. The Song of Departing Creatures. I want to hear the capercaillie cry. I want to hear the humpback wail in the unreal blue of the Solomon Sea. I want to gaze at the ascetic sea turtle. The little family of macaques solves the riddles of trees. Forests, the painting of mushrooms, mountain peaks, higher than memory, hold seashells of another eon. Looms of tall grasses cover my vision, not sharp concrete and wires. It isn't difficult to see. All the technology, all the memory. I want to hear the panther scream from the mountainside. Where did she go in my only night? I want to hear the water that continues without riverbeds, the wind without sky. I want to hear the little creatures that go silent every day. All right. Very good. You're tuned in to Poetry Open Mic Asheville. Thanks for joining us. Oh, yeah. Check out our featured poets website. That's our featured poet, Tracy, tonight. Great Asheville poet. Hey, it looks like we got Justin Blackburn connected. I'm so stoked because it's always good to hear from our friend Justin Blackburn. And I'm stoked to have him on the show tonight. So let's see if we can get him connected. Y'all gonna have to make a bunch of noise, though. It's Justin Blackburn, y'all. Give it up!
Yeah.
Justin, what's up? What's up, man? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you,
and
too.
Dude, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
You had some big news.
Got engaged.
Yep. He's engaged. Justin's getting hitched, and I couldn't be happier for him. Like,
thank you.
You know, like
it'll probably be a year or two. It'll be a while.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you know, take your time with it.
Yeah,
but
weddings are expensive, you know.
Yeah, but she's man. Gianna's a great person, and man, I love both of y'all so much. I'm really
thank
happy
you. We love you so much, and yeah, Gianna rules. She's an amazing person. I feel like she's definitely like the person I was before I met Gianna. I feel like a million times better of a person than before I met her. She really.
Awesome.
She really helped me grow as a person. I mean, she really helps me grow as a person. So I just, you know, I love her so much. And I think, you know, and after 5-6 years of our relationship, I feel like we're kind of figuring it out better. You know, the more you do something, the better you get at it. So the relationship's going great, and the engagement is really cool.
Yep. And and good things take time.
Yeah.
And that's cool, man. I'm glad y'all are working on it, sticking it out, and couldn't be happier for you, man.
Thank you so much. Yeah, she's a blessing in my life, and it's just it's great.
Totally.
I do feel more, more serious. I don't know if the word serious is the right word, but more like in love that we're now engaged, which is interesting. Like more honoring of our love is a good
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fucking fantastic, man.
Not that I wasn't before, but it kind of even elevates it even deeper.
Totally, man. Yeah, it's just it fuels it even more, man.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And you've already gotten at least one book out of it, right?
Yes, Love Poems that Manifested My Soulmate.
Exactly.
And, and I'm writing one now called Love Poems for My Soulmate. Who knows when that'll be out? It's really in the beginning phases.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
a sequel.
It's more like lines and sketches. Like I don't even know if I have one. Maybe I have one or two poems that are finished.
Way cool.
Yeah.
Way cool. Well, what are you reading for us tonight, man?
Well, I'd like to do a joke with you first that I wrote.
Cool. Fantastic.
I know you like the jokes.
You know it, man.
And this is inspired by, I think I'm going to make a video, like a kind of funny video about this.
Yeah.
So I'll just say the joke. I wrote this tonight after somebody commented on one of my posts.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes, I'll just kind of, it's supposed to, intention is funny. All right, here we go. Ready? I wish white new age dudes would shut the fuck up about everything except Bitcoin and if the acid is good.
Yeah. Wait, this is what the dude wrote on your post?
No, this is me.
Okay, this starts with you.
I'll get what the dude said.
Okay.
Unless someone is asking, hey, what's that Grateful Dead song? Trucking, got me chips cashed in. Oh, it's trucking. Keep your mouth shut. I know what you're saying. You're white with long hair and talk about love, so aren't you a new age hippie dude? No, I'm not. I'm way cooler than that. But I used to be one, and I'm sorry. It still haunts me, but I don't judge you for your goth phase, okay? And that's why I'm making this, because this is for 10 years ago me, okay? If I would have had this video 10 years ago, I would have learned to shut the fuck up quicker, and I'd be a way cooler person than I am now. So recently I made a post about the horror curse that is white supremacy, recently meaning tonight. Yeah. And 10 years ago me, honestly, I was never this stupid though, says, I choose no side, bro. White supremacy will always be a thing if you keep talking about it. So stop talking about it, bro. Your attention goes where your flows blows, man. White supremacy is not your fucking daddy issues. White supremacy is an incomprehensible curse that has murdered, raped, and oppressed countless beautiful, soul-breathing black human beings for the color of their skin. Then he said, I love you no matter what, bro. If you really loved me like you said you do, you'd educate yourself on the horrors of white supremacy and stand up for dismantling it and doing everything you can to change it. That's real love. Right now, love is just a word you say to keep yourself from confronting those pesky daddy issues. Recently, I saw another white new age hippie post who said, my heart breaks for all the people who can only have 2 people over at New Year's. Bro, there are almost 2 million people dead and millions of people suffering because of this virus. And you're worried about not having a bunch of different options of chicks to kiss at midnight.
Priorities. Then,
of course, people talk shit to him and tell him what the fuck's up. And then this other new age person's like, you know what? My heart breaks is how mean all you people are to him. That's why my heart's broken. It's like, what the fuck does he not know what he's saying? You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's not finished yet, but it's getting there. It's like I just feel like new age bros, and you know, and I call them out because we live in Asheville, and I love Asheville.
Yeah. Totally.
They have good intentions.
Mm-hmm.
They're just stupid, or they're uneducated. They don't go into the depth of what they like.
Or yeah, they're not taking that time to self-examine or just
exactly
examine
they're just like
at all.
Like, oh man, love, and I'm also kind of have a, you know, maybe a harshness because I felt like, and you've known me for a long time, and when I first started coming up to Asheville and hanging out a lot, I dated a different woman, and I was in that community.
Right, yeah.
And I felt those people were really like, I don't know. I was really, I guess maybe we could, I don't want to say the word hurt because I wasn't really invested in them, but I was very turned off by the community, right? Like,
right. Well, things didn't have the right energy, right?
Yeah, well,
there was
not
things
paying,
were low energy, or
well,
what was it?
Like not paying rent and throwing festivals, you know, or like not paying for the festival that they're throwing, or like, oh, we go work a festival for these people and they not pay us, and they'd make up the, oh, sorry, man, you know, and they would say, hey, I'm going to pay you this, and then you'd work for them and they wouldn't pay you, right?
Oh yeah,
Just a lot of like,
that.
And then like on top of that, they were all like trying to have sex with my girlfriend all the time, you know? And like telling her like, oh, I would marry you right now.
Like, bro, you got to at least pay me.
Yeah, exactly. Totally.
Come on.
And it's like, I just felt like they had like the whole, and they would do like the whole, you would see them and they'd be like, oh yeah. Like the hugs and all that kind of.
Like, how long's this hug?
Exactly. and they're not bad people. I'm not going to put them down, but I just feel like there's like a delusion to them where they don't get, where they think they can just say like, man, just love everything, dude. You know, like it's just, it's not there. Or like, you know, oh, COVID's just all in your mind, man. You know, just this like, just
it's detached, you know. It's
yeah,
like
exactly.
Like I get like the external reality is not like the only reality or whatever, you know, but it's still a fucking reality.
Exactly.
You know, like that we can't just totally detach from, you know, we have to live in this fucking reality together.
Totally. Exactly. Yeah. And that I think is like the issue, whereas they don't get that, like telling people that, even if it's true, you know, I'm not saying it is, but even if it was, telling people that is just incredibly like invalidating. And these people who like, you know, their families are, people are dying, and
like I got friends who've died from COVID.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so like, it's kind of like, I don't want to hear it's not real, you know.
Exactly.
Like,
and I think these people have, the thing that bothers me about these people is I think that they're really close to being cool people. You know what I mean? They're really close to helping out the world in a positive way.
Oh yeah, I want to love them.
But they're so delusional that they really isolate people by what they do, and then people are getting mad at them, and they're like, "What? You're so mean for being mad at me." It's like, dude, you're talking about like, you know, you're upset that you can't have a party on New Year's, and you're not mentioning that like people are dying from that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's just kind of like, I feel like those people could really, all that kind of love stuff. And I had an experience once where like I was working at this healing center, and I was like feeling really great. We were having like a Christmas thing. We were like decorating for Christmas. And I was going around telling everybody I loved them. And this massage therapist dude, who's still a friend of mine now, he was like, dude, if you loved everybody, you'd be cleaning shit up and you'd be like decorating the place and helping people. You're just running around saying love to everybody. And I was like, damn, you're right. That's real. And I was like, shit. And I feel like I wasn't in that like denial of racism and all that kind of shit world. But I was very like love, and I would tell everybody I love them and everything's love and all this kind of shit when I was younger.
Yeah.
So I think that I'm also like talking to parts of myself that were kind of delusional. But, you know, but yeah, so I feel like I was that person. So if I feel comfortable confronting that person.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it strikes a chord you can relate to.
Totally. Because I was very naive. I was on a lot of mushrooms and acid when I was younger. And I was like, oh, why everything's one. Why does not everybody get that? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, it's not everybody's on a bunch of fucking mushrooms like I am. You know?
Right. Yeah.
And that, you know, so I definitely I had times where I had to kind of like, I was really detached and in this like, you know, spiritual realm, and I had to like ground and come down, you know. And honestly, there was a lot of panic attacks that I experienced when I was going through that process of grounding and things like that.
Oh man,
facing a lot of trauma in my body, and I think that's, you know, and I think that's a reason those people don't want to come down. Because if they came down, they'd have to face shit that they don't want to face.
Yeah, it's not easy, you know.
Yeah,
changing like your perspectives and looking at your reality and shit.
Totally. So like going around saying like COVID is not real and all this kind of bullshit is like they don't know that the reason they're doing it is because they're not, like you said, they're detached. So they're not in touch with themselves. They're not in touch with their hearts, because the real truth of it is that it's real and it's killing people and it's horrifying.
It's a tough truth.
Yeah, exactly. It's a tough truth. Yeah. So they live in the hippy dippy, like, yay kind of truth. And that's not a place where you're going to, you know, let me plug my thing in real quick. That's not a place where they want to go. And I don't know, like, if other people from other places are watching this that don't live in Asheville, but
oh yeah, definitely.
I think that's a real big thing. And even though I love Asheville and I love the people of Asheville, and it's a thing everywhere, but
oh yeah, you can find it everywhere. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of my thing.
Oh yeah, man. There's a whole new age hippie right wing hippie.
Oh yeah, the QAnon
now.
people.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh yeah,
like,
there's so many.
Yeah. That is a world I've never dreamed of.
There is so many fucking new age people, because I added a bunch of them on Facebook when I was in that world.
Yeah.
That are QAnon and Trump supporters now. It's crazy.
It blows my mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like
they think Trump is like some kind of genius or something. That's like giving them
insanity.
Giving them like if Trump like touches his nose, they're like, oh, there he goes. They have all this crazy, you know.
Yes, that's the signal.
Exactly. They're all very
storm the Capitol.
Yeah. And it's like, that's why it's like, that's the thing about like people fighting all this shit that they don't understand. It's like white supremacy we can look at and see it's happening. It happened today. If those people were black, you know this as well as I, they would all be shot. It wouldn't have been. It would have been 5. You know, they would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. We went out to march for black rights, and we fucking got tear gassed to hell. You know, for not doing anything.
Exactly.
And you know, it's
because you had Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, and you know, the Proud Boys walk right into the damn Capitol.
And nobody does anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
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 And that's something
very different. That's white supremacy. Now. And then you had the, you know, just the past 2 days have been the, you know, in the Kenosha, Jacob Blake.
Oh, yeah. Nothing.
They decided not to press charges.
Exactly.
Nothing, you know. And then they did fire the Breonna Taylor cop the other day, you know, but they just fired him for a procedural thing, you know?
Exactly.
It's like the fucking killing the woman in her sleep wasn't even an issue.
Yeah.
It's insane. So you're exactly, it's all about white supremacy, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like those people want to fight for something. They want to stand for something. But what they're standing for is like they don't even know what's happening. They're just guessing. They're just, oh, look, Trump is saying that he's going to save the kids because he, looked to the left instead of the right. Like it's just all created, instead of looking at shit that's actually happening right in front of their fucking face. And that's that's white privilege right there.
You said
they have the privilege to be delusional.
Yeah.
Black people.
Not everyone's afforded that privilege.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Some people have to face reality.
Exactly. To make it through like existence.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have everything handed to them, and that, that's the thing. It's like, I feel like it's really important for white people to just acknowledge that. I think black people, just from my conversations and things like that, and in the poem that I had, just really wanted white people to just acknowledge shit.
Right.
Like, yeah, we have white privilege. I have white privilege. I think about that. I've seen it forever. Like,
right. Yeah. Well, and you've been criticized so much for that like the poem you mentioned, like blew up on YouTube and stuff, and you had like a lot of criticism, but you also you had a lot of like praise for that.
Yeah, and
obviously you had more praise than criticism, but
totally.
It wasn't without like you having to like deal with that, and I guess obviously a lot of the criticism was coming from that white privilege too, but
totally. But a lot of the praise was just thank you for saying something that
acknowledging,
and I wasn't
opening dialogue.
Crazy, and a lot of people think it's crazy, but it's not. It's just
it's pretty
simplest thing. Like,
it's about people taking a knee and stuff.
Yeah. We created white people and black people. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so it's on us to change it.
We got to change it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's a really, I think that like people just, and I think that's not even just, I think that's people in general. People really just like to be, I'm that way. Like, I just want to be validated on situations. Like if you get in an argument with people, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, even, you just want to be validated. You just want to, hey, I see your perspective, but this is how I feel. You know what I'm saying? And even if like white privilege people are like, yeah, I have white privilege, but I don't want to give it up. That's I would respect that more than people saying, no, it doesn't exist, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
acknowledge reality.
Yeah, exactly. Just owning that I like this. I like my white privilege. I'm afraid if I don't have it, I won't know who I am.
Then, because at least you can then open up a lot to dialogue,
Exactly.
Like, hey, let's talk about that then,
And see, that's
but
the
if
thing.
It's just like, no, that doesn't even exist. Then you can't even talk.
And that's the thing, though. Once they don't want to open up the dialogue, because once the dialogue is open, they know they're going to be told they're full of shit. They're going to have to admit they're full of shit. They're going to have to confront that part of themselves. And then their lives are going to have to change. A lot of that is just, in my opinion, it's just a lot of people who are really conditioned and in their little world and just really afraid of that. Because I'm from that world. And honestly, to get out of that world, I had to eat a bunch of mushrooms and tell everybody that everything.
Sometimes that's what it takes, right?
Exactly. And tell all these people everything they thought was full of shit. And then they all hated me. Like I had like 15 best friends, 10 best friends. I don't remember how number. Like all these bros were my best friends in high school. Like we're going to be friends forever kind of shit.
Sure, yeah.
And when I started going against what they thought, they literally quit talking to me. Luckily, I was on mushrooms and I didn't really at the time, I was tripping.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah, I feel you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about that tonight. Just kind of wanted to
Dude.
go to a soapbox about that and a rant
Thank
on
you.
that. Yeah.
I think that's important, and that's fucking.
I always loved having conversations with you, and I think it's cool that we get to do that on this sometime.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, thank you for doing it. Did you want to do a poem or anything?
You
got a poem for us?
Yeah, I can do one poem.
All right. I'm gonna hand it over to you. Poem. We got 1 point from Justin. Y'all give it up for Justin.
So I'm gonna do this poem. I wrote this poem 12 years ago. It's hey Barbara. It's called I Retired from America in 3rd grade. It's one of those poems that it's kind of cool, but I don't really know if it makes any sense. It made sense when I wrote it. Probably like 12 years ago. I wrote it. It was before I really knew what I was talking about, but it still kind of I don't know, it's still kind of special to me. I like the flow of it, so I'm going to read it. It's kind of up in the air. I think when back then I wasn't as maybe good at communicating, so I would kind of leave it more open for things, more out there, more open to interpretation, and that I think this poem's one of those poems. So here we go. I retired from America in the 3rd grade. Laying in the grass, watching the daylight sleep. It's not a mystery to me why I am who I chose to be. It all seems to fit the way I bitch, the way the ambulance drives, the way fear eats me alive as if it loves my life, the way beauty grows from inside, the way I could have it any way as if I would not have it any other way. Like a bird opening her mouth, like a beautiful song shining out. I retired from America in 3rd grade after 1 history lesson, with only a PB and J to my name and a box full of crayons, wearing the sadness of 1,000,000 angels drenched in the fear of 1,000 liars. I was never a child crying in my mother's arms. I was always on fire like a star. I was always in trouble like a storm. I tried to have others change me. No one could. My heart refused to let me live in the illusion of myself. Since birth, my beauty has always been so heartfelt, only mountains can stand it. My love so real, only God can feel it. My joy so magical, only mermaids can breathe it. My sadness so deep, only stars can shine it. Myself has always been so me, only I can express it. The land lost inside your mind is where I was born. Don't worry, you are not my mother, just my creator. You are not the result of my thoughts, just my savior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Justin. That was awesome. I don't think I've heard that one before. That's cool, man.
Thanks. Yeah, I think it was in one of my books a long time ago. But yeah.
Oh, shit. Maybe I have heard it, but
I can remember.
Good shit.
Yeah, I remember. Like I think it's kind of about it. Like I remember in like 6th grade. If you don't mind, if I can tell like a little story.
Go for it, man.
Only take a minute.
Yeah,
I remember it's more like in 6th grade. I remember coming home, and I had an all B's in my progress report, and my mom said it was the first 9 weeks, first 4.5 weeks. I had all B's, and I was stoked. Right, I thought I was doing really well. And she was like, "What? No A's?" And she got really mad at me. And I remember being like, "Man, fuck this." I didn't say fuck probably, but I was like, "Damn." And I feel like in that day, I kind of gave up. And I never made anywhere close to all B's again. like after that, I was like C's and D's and like on pills and all this kind of medication. Something was wrong with me because I didn't make good grades. You know what I'm saying? So that poem is kind of about, in my opinion, it's kind of about that. And I chose 3rd grade instead of 6th grade. But yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much. It was a blessing to be here.
Dude,
thank
you, Justin.
It's called The Bisexual Christian Suburban Failure and Lightning Bipolar Blues. If anybody wants one, you can hit me up on the Facebook. Thank you, Caleb. This is so awesome. Love this. I'll see y'all next week at some point in time.
Yeah, totally. Sounds good. Thank you, Justin. Everyone give it up one more time for Justin Blackburn.
Woo! Yeah.
Yeah, Justin. And y'all check him out on Facebook and all that good stuff. Justin's out there. He's got a whole bunch of good books for sale. Definitely check those out. They're awesome. And thank you again, Justin. Awesome time there. It's always good hanging out with you. And hope to see you next week as well. Anyway, it's been great hanging out with everyone tonight. I think we got at least one more performer. If anyone else had a spot and wants to get on, get in there now. Otherwise, we'll see you next week. But y'all keep it locked here. Because we got Emilia Maldonado up next, joining us from Chicago tonight, and we're super excited for it. Y'all, go ahead and let's see where we're at. Y'all make some noise and give it up for Emilia. Emilio!
Hello.
What's up, man?
Whew. You know,
Woo,
it's
buddy.
been today. You know, the funny thing is, I knew that white folk were, gathering and whatnot in DC yesterday, but I went to bed thinking more about Kenosha.
Right? Yeah, man, that's what I've been saying. Yeah, fuck?
And Chicago-wise, it might stick better because, it's like a town so close that I'd say, no joke, 50% of Chicagoans have been in Kenosha for one reason or another.
Really?
It's like it's kind of like this. It's like, oh, it's this quaint little place where we can go apple picking, or they got like all these beautiful lakes and there's trails.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of it's a quick, accessible spot from the city. And then there's people, and then people got people there too.
Oh yeah.
Because Wisconsin
so that makes it real close to home.
From where Chicago's at and the border of Wisconsin, you're in the state of Wisconsin from Chicago in 45 minutes.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that close.
We're that close to the border. Yeah.
Wow.
To get to Milwaukee, Wisconsin is an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's
not bad.
like crazy close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Milwaukee's really at the bottom of so to get to Green Bay, if you wanted to see some Monsters of the Midway sort of football action, that's a long drive because Green Bay's way the fuck up by Canada. But anyway,
get all turned around up there, man.
Yeah, man. So Kenosha was the thing that was on my mind when I went to sleep.
Yeah.
And hold on one second.
No charges, man.
Salud, brother.
Hey, salute, man.
To everyone else out there, be safe. To Morgan,
that's right, and happy New Year. It's a new year.
Yeah.
All right.
This is my first drink. Well, that wasn't exactly. It was my first. Maybe that was like.
It was your first.
No. I had like 2 sips earlier.
2 sips, but hold up that bottle. That ain't no 2 sips.
Oh no, that's not.
It's 2 big sips.
I didn't open this today.
Okay, good.
Yeah. No, but I just wanted to say this is the first whiskey I've had in many months.
Old Dickel. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to join you. Hold on. Tell us about Kenosha, though. What the fuck?
No
fucking charges, right?
So, yeah, it was – Kenosha was upsetting, and that was, like, what was on my mind. And I was aware that all these white folks had congregated in D.C., but that's what was on my mind. And I was actually thinking I was concerned that there was going to be some street actions today in Chicago because of it.
Right.
I had to go to a funeral this morning. And as a matter of fact, the wake last night, I was already wondering if it was going to be affecting. Like, I was worried about
for your
the highway.
loss.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, but damn, yeah. I mean, of course, yeah. You're expecting.
No. You know what I mean? So, like, last night, I was worrying, like, damn, I got to drive out like through the West Side. Like, is it going to be fucked up tonight? Like, I was just curious. I still went to the wake last night, and I still went to the funeral today. But that's what was on my mind in terms of like what might happen, streetwise, street action.
Right. Yeah, because it might get crazy out there. I mean,
But I'm just saying, like, that's what I was.
Cheers. But yeah, I mean, we've seen what's happened and stuff, but basically they were anticipating this, right?
Is what I'm saying. That's all that's on my mind.
When they announced it, they went ahead and called in the National Guard and everything.
Oh yeah, in Kenosha,
they knew it was wrong.
In Chicago, I'm sure there was a lot of police deployed to the downtown area to protect all the stores and blah 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 blah, and the rich folks. But that's been what Chicago's been doing.
Right.
When there's like been any decision that might generate some street action. No, but really, really pointedly this year, like they've actually been pulling officers from neighborhoods, which has led to an increase in a lot of street crimes. This is the highest year of like carjackings, and since carjackings were actually like famous, you know what I mean? Like since 20 years or 18 years or something like that.
Yeah.
And anyway, so that's all that's on my mind. So then when I actually tune in, I see what the white folk were doing, what these Proud Boys and these believers and these fucking traitors. And I mean, I love how the right tries to wrap itself in the flag and also talk against the system of government. You know what I mean? It's sort of like they want to tear up the Constitution, and yet all they talk about is like the love of this country. It's like, but you can't love this country without that. I mean, I'm speaking to the choir, I know, but it's like that's what makes this place. Not I mean, I'm pretty much white too, but it's like all you pale faces isn't what makes this country great. It's that these laws and these people kept on wanting to change it and improve it. And you didn't have to worry about, whose father, who's, blood county lined, were you the Duke or whatever, motherfucker. You didn't have to worry about that as much to like. Now, of course, power has been fucking shit up in this U.S. It's not even perfect, but I'm trying to get it. It's like, where you at, So.
Oh, I know, man. I mean, I was just sitting there all day watching that. Like,
so then when I came on to watching, I saw the first footage at like 4. So then I was like, and then I was hearing more and more like what happened over the next like hour.
Yeah, it's like they stormed the Capitol, and then it's like, oh shit, the shots fired on the House floor, and like fucking holy God.
I feel
fucking crazy.
Yeah, I'm as uncomfortable and nervous. When I was first feeling it, I was gonna say, it was sort of like the first thing that I could remember wasn't the accurate answer this time. Usually it's like, yeah, that's the one. So the first feeling I could remember, the first time I could remember, or the last time I should say, I could remember feeling this way, and I thought Rodney King, but that's not true. And there's a motherfucking fruit fly in here that I just need to destroy. God damn it, I thought I had it. But but that wasn't true. I was remembering the feeling of dread when I knew the election results in 2016.
Wow.
And just kind of like,
God, I'll always remember where I was.
Well, I was I was trying hard to hope that I was right and all these friends of mine were wrong, because they were the ones saying, bro, this guy's gonna be the worst. And I'm like, and I'm thinking like, this guy's not gonna be worse than like Reagan or Nixon. Man, this motherfucker went, hey, fuck y'all, motherfuckers.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Straight up.
And I mean, right away, I realized how wrong I was, and I was like, shit. But the dread I felt was the next day. I remember it wasn't when I heard the results. It was the next day, and I was listening. I was still in nursing school, and it was my lunch break, and I mean the whole city was in this fucking like, I shouldn't say the whole city. Large segments of the city that were mostly white and Latino had this sort of daze, couldn't believe it, oh shit vibe going on.
Mm-hmm.
Black people were the ones, and a lot of Latinos also, but primarily the black community was like, see what we've been telling you, how you are. It's like, this is not a race card. This is your behavior. And it was sort of like,
card.
I mean, but for those of us who've been arguing against like institutional racism or just individual incidents, and it's just like, we're in this post-racial, it's just, you're just always bringing up the race card, and it's like, so that it's like, here, this is because of y'all,
right?
He's here. And I remember that next day, just that whole day, like trying to just state my patient, what are the directions, so I didn't have to think about what was going to happen to the country. And then I'm on my lunch break, and I hear all these. I'm sitting by myself, but I'm sitting right next to the table of Mexican, like the cleaning ladies and the laundry, and a couple of like one Mexican dude sitting with the ladies, and they're all talking about the election, and they're like, they can't believe it. They're worried about, themselves. They're all good. They're all cool, but like they're worried about different family members are going to say. Or they're just kind of talking about the community, and they can't believe that this guy actually won. And then there's this one guy, the Mexican guy, and he's just like, well, I didn't vote for Hillary. Like, I ain't gonna vote for no woman. And I said, like, my heart fucking sank. And I was like, because I knew that it was just like,
it's like, you mean, so he voted for the dude who's talking about kicking out Mexicans and making them pay for a wall and shit?
Because at least she wasn't a woman. Yeah. And I was just thinking, like, fuck, man. Like, it's sort of like, that's when the sting hit, So like, it was the election results, and it was like, when I heard that, man, my heart fucking sunk. And I got angry, but I was also like, he ain't the only one that said that shit.
Apparently.
Oh, wait, he ain't the only one that said some shit. Not just that, but
Oh right, yeah.
Oh, he's gonna be.
Man, it blows my mind.
I love what Justin was talking about there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This whole time, I want to give props to Justin for what he was saying.
Justin Blackburn,
about the new age douche bro, and
right, man. It's like, where did that shit come from? Good God.
But see, I would say, of course.
Of course, yeah.
That's
brewing.
That's what I'm. Yeah. And anyway, man.
Yeah, you can't just look the other way and say shit's all one.
So yeah,
and I know we're generalizing, but like it's definitely out there. Like,
man, I had this like really anxious feeling after I saw that on the news. And
I was sure, I'm like, shit, I should get groceries and fucking toilet.
There was no, man. There was a part of me. It's
what's
like,
going down now?
Like, well, so like I was like quite anxious, and I was thinking, like, fuck, man, and just like feeling this anxiety, and it's just like, man, it's like I just kept on thinking, it's like, you fucking dumb, traitorous, racist, fucking assholes. Like, you're either gonna provoke something that is gonna, you can't pay that bill, and it's gonna be something that's gonna be a flashpoint for worse things that didn't have to happen,
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, of course, like, y'all been fucking, video gaming and fucking, chat rooming this fucking fantasy for years, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, like, man, I'm just, like, that's what I was getting at. It's like this feeling of, like, man, I haven't felt this feeling in a long time, where I was just like, man, white people, you fucking let me down. And that's why I thought of Rodney King, and then I'm like, no. It wasn't even most recently. It was yet again, but like, it was like in a strong way was the election. But, and it's like every time there's a decision,
Dude,
so to get back to Kenosha, I mean, that's just it.
Right. Look, man, I've been sitting there all afternoon just like, damn, white people are crazy, dude.
So I'm sitting down and I'm feeling this anxiety.
Nuts. Yeah.
And I'm like, should I even have a drink? I mean, like, this is the real thought that's going through my mind. Like, should I have some drinks? Like, what if shit gets set off? Like, I'm not going to be able to run away from shit. Like, this is a for real sober thought of mine. And I'm level-headed. I don't do no, like, yeah, man, it's Martians. Like, but I'm sitting there and I'm like, should I have a drink? And drinks? And, like, I was like, man, can I afford to not be sober because of danger? Not because of, like, physical health or, like, No,
I know. Like, yeah, if you got to get out of somewhere.
Could there be, yeah. And I'm just like,
you gotta be
that
ready.
thought, and I was just like, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Just, listen to the poets and have a drink, and, but still, man, wow.
Wow, dude.
And then I had to check Fox News. Like, all right, what are you snakes saying?
I meant to do that too because I really wanted to. I mean, it seems like most even the conservatives were kind of like
at the beginning of the day, at the beginning of the they were talking about these people as protesters, and nobody was saying nothing bad.
Right, of course, yeah.
And then I tuned back in after, like, after, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, man, that they even had Karl Rove saying, "These aren't patriots. This is a mob." Karl
Rove, dude. Oh my god.
It's like, man, they're
war criminal Rove, man.
These guys
denouncing your fucking.
They are determined, to not get kicked out of the country.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah. And there's been a lot more, people like, hey, yo. And then, of course, these fucking turncoat ass motherfuckers like Ted Cruz and, it's like, hey, calm down. It's like, what have you been calling for too? But, it's like, your ass is in on this too.
Now they're all
like,
Chris Christie and all these motherfuckers are all like, now, everybody calm down now. It's like, what the fuck you think you were doing? You've been firing these people up this whole time. Like,
but that's why Ted Cruz has got that beard, because, like, so he don't get caught, so he's gonna shave it back off. He's like, man, everyone is, no one's gonna recognize me.
It's probably true though. It'll probably work. I mean, goddamn, it was funny you were talking about Trump. The when he won and everything, and I was thinking back in Asheville when the day after Trump won, these huge wildfires, these forest fires swept through here, and we don't get a lot of like really huge, not like the West Coast at all. It's rare. and all of the mountains were burning, and downtown Asheville was just blanketed in smoke, and you couldn't even go outside without coughing and stuff, and it was just so ominous. And this, like, literally the day after Trump won, the mountains just caught fire, and you know,
of course,
and it's been weird as shit ever since. You know, hopefully we will overcome. Yeah.
I know you will, and I know we all will. But what's can't believe in the alternative. But what the fuck's good? Going down that rabbit hole for anyway. So
yeah,
that we can't.
Well, I know we poets, we get a lot of shit off our chest through poetry, and it's it's I don't know, it's how we live, it's what we do, and I know you got some poems for us tonight.
Yeah, brother.
All right, well, I'm gonna turn it over to you, Emilia, for the good poetry. But everybody out there, where you're at, we still got a bunch of people tuned in, so I can hear y'all out there. Jump up and down, make a whole bunch of fucking noise for the great Chicago poet, Emilia Maldonado. Give it up!
What up, what up, what up? Asheville and parts everywhere else. Salute. Oh, actually, I shouldn't say salute. I wasn't drinking here. Sorry. Salute. That was Magic Sam. So, Justin, this is for you. I'd like to read this poem. Congratulations. That's a beautiful thing. And I wrote this actually for a ceremony. Miracles of nature, miracles of love. We are all beings of love. We find lives, we hope for loves. We are these loves. Creation, the endeavor of artists. We carve out lives out of this chaos. The glow that we create is starlight, and we inspire each other. Estamos sembrando faith in sure hands, nurturing growth, holding on to the only magic that ever was. Amor. This is the secret language of the universe. Hicimos este milagro de amor. Bosques nos invitan para andar, para bailar danzas. Cuicani en Xochitl, canto y flor. The song and the flower. Baila conmigo, mi amor. Sea un vals, cumbia, or deep house. Baila conmigo. Lejos y cerca siento las palpitaciones de tu corazón. Home. Monarch butterflies brought forth more than nectar on their impossible migration north. 2 lives joined today. Softest lips I ever kissed, kindest eyes I look into. Strongest heart close to mine. Mad passion. I'll never have to share these with anyone. Cariño, baila conmigo. Miracle of love, let's run together into the night. Canto y flor, we greet the sun. Welcome its gifts. We are these loves, joined. One more time, salud, Justin. So this is a much different vibe of a poem. Really quick, I didn't really write about the day today. I'm not reading about the day today. but I am reading about the day today. The lighting is really nice in room blah, blah, blah in the Sullivan Galleries, or Boomerang. I love the pipes. I love electrical conduit. It's my fractal dream. It's the limits of my physical imagination. Fuck you, Crystal Lattice. Chúpame cube. A la verga tetrahedron. Gimme Tron, light cycle, right angle Giamo heaven. Gimme translucent neon, midnight carnage. The crazy rhythm of other combatants, other riders of angular momentum caromed off the too high ceiling. Art department's never heard of foam tile. Gimme electrical conduit. I'm radioactive midnight, big beaten wavelengths, crisscrossing Route 66 towns. Gimme. I'm learning how to ride an aluminum bike. I'm taking a sip of brandy and coke. Electrical conduit. Find her tied down, tied up, secret laws, secret government. I love the pipes. The Irish, Delta Fife and Drum, Hill Country, White Massacre. The pipes. Nigeria, motherfucker. Big African commerce, Nigeria, cities and economies and demons. Demons on video. The limits of my physical imagination. Police line, tape draped sidewalks, Miss America style. Looking for forgiveness when it's closed. Faces that take punches, mirrors that spit punches. Can you read? Because I'm writing. Y de rodilla. Right now, I wish I was 25 again and scare some white boys again, or dare a bad person to try to shoot me, because I would definitely kill him with my bare fucking hands. Right now, I wish this wasn't so fucking confusing and that there was something I could do. Right now, it could go away if I could just yell at the night. Maybe the moon would take pity and drown me a little. Right now, I wish I wouldn't be staring into space, feeling berserk. Right now, I want to be held and lied to be held and shut the fuck up to be held. Right now, I wish I could remember how to ask for help. Right now, I wish I'd never killed my motorcycle. I'd ride into the night, dig into curves as fast as I could, run over the old rails and bones of this once beautiful whore of a city, and remember the bricks and sweat and work, the blood baked into hidden cobblestones. Hands that grabbed her big old ass and pushed and pulled and fought and fucked all night in the daylight, regular people time. Ride to forget, ride to live, to play kaleidoscope with memory and fantasy and regret. Right now, I'm going to crack the bottle over your head before I drink it. Right now, I look at what's left and I use it. Right now hurts. Right now will pass. Alcoholics Anonymous, 28 days, 3 months, 5 months, 8 months. Talk about coins. Look to the back. For rhymes stillborn. See the scars on my heart? A beat still mad at a neighborhood waiting for renewal. Look to the back in a pint of vodka. Brown bag incognito. Twist the cap, break the seal. Another comrade lost in years. The old fisherman smiles out the window. Winces, chuckles to himself, not to me. We're riding south on Western. He's looking at Cyprus and the boats, with the long days yield. The long-haired girls that kept them on the island even after the discovery of blonde hair. He isn't a danger to the young girls conniving on the cell phone, making open invitations. It's 5 minutes of Chicago street jazz. This is for my friend Lane, who I've known a very long time, and I've reconnected with recently. And it's been nice. I had my fill hours ago, and the last thought you left me with was a lie. You're my favorite liar. Who made you cry, baby? Will you let me be the caveman? Yeah, I'm silly because I can't think straight. Mr. Coronate blasts away. He knows Louisiana heat. He remembers straight edge razors held against Mama's throat. He's laughing at me, drinking and sitting and riding and thinking because he knows it's always been so damn simple. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed, walked out the door. Train tracks at 40 miles an hour and it's gone. Indifferent night swallows this hope. What else? Que pendejada. Whiskey loves in its cruel way. I find no crossroads buying, and hellhounds sleep peacefully. The sweet smile isn't mine tonight, and I almost forget, like a fool, that I care still. Who made you cry, baby? I dream imaginary dreams and kindness. Silly rabbit. Let's try something different here. Hopefully you can hear that. I've got lies to remember. I'm all kinds of hurt that no tequila, no bourbon, no long night. I've got a monster inside of me that knows how to find you. You, the darkest spot in the night. Always find your darkness in the night. Won't stop thinking. It's so easy to see. Laying there, you know my ugliness. Windows are breaking in this room. Can I stop feeling? I'm dancing with you now. Blood is being spilled, and I'm dancing with you now. You're a pain inside of me, and there's no words for it. How do I heal from you, my dear? You're the lie I told myself so I could remember to breathe. What's your name? I passed 2 Chinatown drunks. They're the only cats around that look a little bit like me. So blind from crazy wine, they dance, they laugh. Maybe I love you, but I've never trusted myself. I play Russian roulette with a heart, but it's mine. Who cares? Who lives? Who dies? We're immortal. I'm scared of a real kiss. I dreamed of ice. I'll be basalt, Olmec, colossal head majesty, and a coward. Immovable, impenetrable, but yellow. Blind lemon laughs at this cat. I wear the same shirt for a week, the same mask for years, a different pair of eyes every day, but it is mine. A baby's hair contains hope. I froze when it was time to call. A life, tender, sweet bluebird of a life. A pretty girl's breast. Whistle now, kids. I lost my baby. Let her out of my hands. I throw away my strength to avoid the shame. The only partner I've got left is chance. Dark skies, blue sky, slate, gravel, hard dirt. It just rained and I smell Thursday. I never abided by farewells till now. Some ghost days are ending. So, all right. Let's see. Yeah. Sometimes feels sometimes feels like the last 15 years was spent by someone else. And then it was me. I'm the motherfucker. I'm the enemy. I'm the reason. It was my fault. I killed Kennedy. I paid for the poison. The lives flushed were mine. The laws lost were mine. I opened the wrong door. Turned on the wrong light. Went north instead of home. Went south instead of your place. Sat while you danced. Drank while you danced. Danced when you wanted to talk. Smiled when you caught me looking at you. Played fun when it was time to get serious. Took the cab. Fell in the snow. Goddamn organ grinder fucking monkey. I chained myself. I wore the monkey suit with pride, with glee. Strutting around, telling the same bullshit stories. Surly, the same, surly. Wearing blinders that were meant for cowards. I had mine fitted. Watched Fred fucking Anderson soar and introduce me to dreams, synapses rewired and clicked on by drums, by sweat, by legs and cunts and asses, eyes, and that spot on your arm. The freckle I always owned. The spot I claimed for only me. Forgetting now which one was mine. Letting someone else connect the dots. Why does night have to be so short? Love. 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 A word I've yet to decipher. Another thing I'm mislaid. A nostalgia for it the same way that I miss Mexico. But I was raised in concrete and brick and green tree. Gray sidewalk sandpaper. Gypsies in a goddamn belt, overseer, rapist, slumlord, justice that meted out welts and screams and death threats for 10 years. Platform shoes, but never looking cool. Haircuts, and never looking cool. Tears on dirty cheeks. How the fuck were they always dirty? And gasping for breath. Thunder and fear and love and lust. Pride. Pride. Alleyways. Shining in Chinatown with last night's piss and this morning's rain. Nostalgia for someone else's stories. Smells that went into different noses. I'm running out of steam faster than a drum solo. The trouble with life, the arm, baby strollers with broken wheels. When will I get a meaningful erection again, Doc? When did I ever mean an erection? I'm staring across the room and feel my blood rise, because that's all I have left. Amal growls. It's not even 4 a.m. I miss being whispered to. I give to everyone but myself. What I keep are the regrets and the jealousies. I hate the look of my breath in the baker's window. Je suis désolé. Je décimais tous. Tous, motherfucker. Le tous. My God. I forgot your freckles. I said I would never forget them. Corrido lágrimas. Ahora ya sé por qué estoy chillando. ¿Por qué lloro? Por el hombre que nunca fui. Por los hombres que ya pasaron. Por estar vivo. No me hice este hombre. No morí como este hombre. Lamento que ya no grito de día y de noche. Hasta ese día vivas. Ese día despiertas de este mundo. Ese mundo. Esas calles. Y huele. Y gabachos consentidos gritando "fuck yeah". Y ni saben caminar en un cerro, despertar en la sierra. Calles planos, vidas planos. Nosotros también. Puro espejo y coraje. Lloro porque ya no me estoy emborrachando. Ya no me siento muy ni tan. Lloro por las manos que ya no están en mi cuerpo, en mi pecho, en mi barba, en mi bigote. Lloro por las manos que ya no están agarrándote, besándote, haciendo el amor o echándonos unos chingazos de sudor. Lloro porque ya no puedo estar contigo, escuchando tus deseos, tus consejos, haciéndome payaso. Puras habladas este güey, puras habladas esta vida de este güey. Lloro porque me hacen falta los tambores, me hacen falta las guitarras, las canciones, las mujeres, los hombres, la tristeza, la alegría. Lloro por mi tío Pepe, mi tío Tato, mi tío Raimundo, mi abuelita Enriqueta, mi tío Chavita. Pero también por el fulano de tal, que está muriendo de pinche frío, en lugar de la pinche risa. Le nombran pesadillas. Me encanta un chingo. Me hace falta gritar en coro. Me canso de llorar. Me canso de llorar este día, este minuto. Ni yo sé si estoy sufriendo. Estoy aburrido. Me echo de corridas, sí. Le digo, prácatelas. ¿A mí? ¿Propios deseos, sueños? Sí, me corro. Echo bolas de lo a mí me falta. Entonces, busco a otro corrido. this. Hitting rock bottom appeals to me. Can't get any worse. They can only get better. Kneeling in a dark night in the cold, being unseen by Hondas and Subarus and Audis. People walking their dog. It can only get better, right? Sun is shining. The weather is sweet. Make you wanna move your dancing feet. To the rescue. Here I am. Want you to know, y'all, where I stand. There you go. Or I guess maybe he wants to. Okay.
Well,
I didn't know if you wanted me to like. Hey, are you
oh
taking
no,
a
my
shit? Let me
shit's
keep
just
going.
not working. No, you're good. I'm just like, why is the shit not working? You know, the
Damn,
shit's
it is
supposed to
long as
work,
fuck, bro.
right? Dude, I know, man. I haven't had a haircut since.
I mean,
you
I
know,
haven't had
like a
haircut in
year
a while.
before the pandemic.
Okay. I feel like that's the same for me, but I ain't got that. That's like, I mean, that's like Almond Brothers. Like I've got, you know.
It's crazy, man. If you just you know, if you just
literally my shit just stopped growing, and I look like a guy who has cocaine but can't afford any.
Wait, what?
I said what I said. No, I mean for real, like, you know, like this shit just it's like it got long, and then it was just like, nope, we're gonna stay.
Oh yeah,
how'd you like that set? Did you get?
You know what? Dude, I was literally just about to say this. That may have been that's probably my favorite set I've heard you read at this virtual open mic.
Cool.
I really think so. Yeah. I fucking dug. I don't know. It had this cool rhythm to it tonight, man. That I was really feeling. You know, I love that the Chicago jazz poem.
Yeah.
And then what was the poem with the line about the Thursdays?
Oh, yeah.
That was incredible, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking fabulous shit.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's what I had alluded to when I said what I was gonna do, because it was like these aren't about the events of the day, and they're all about the events of the day. I was thinking what I wanted to do was be a little bit more of an artist in terms of like using the words, than trying to sit there and kind of like feel them and interpret them within their own honesty. Like I was just like, no, I'm going to use these words as like my palette. I'm going to use these words as however I choose, and I do that a lot of times, but it was like I wanted to do that with the whole set.
Yeah.
Where I was like, I was going to try to use them like the little filters, so.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I mean, you and I've spoken a lot about that before, like about honesty in poetry, You can't lie to the poem, right?
Yeah, I love that how you say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
I mean, you just like once you get up there, it comes through.
Yeah.
I mean, music's the same way. Like because I play music too. I always see these similarities.
You're amazing.
And it's like,
yeah, I hope.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you. And you got the music in you too, man. You know,
Yeah.
like we're gonna have to get you back here in Asheville with the Lactones again
Ooh.
sometime. You know,
Cannot wait. Yeah.
I know. Max is waiting for it, man.
Give him my love.
I will, man. I will, man. I'm gonna see him tomorrow at the bar. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm working at the Kava bar. You know, we're holding it down. You know,
I really look forward to
we're
when
just like
I was
handing
just thinking
shots to
today how
people
much I
with
want to drive.
masks on and like behind glass and shit. But
I was just thinking how much I want to. I'm wondering when I can try to drive down there. Just today, I was thinking that.
yeah.
You know, like I wonder when it's gonna be cool too. You know.
Hopefully soon. I mean, shit's dire right now, man.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah, like the fucking LA fucking ran out of oxygen and shit, and they're having to make some decisions out there, man. It's really bad, you know.
Dude, no joke. Today is the closest I can feel that we're to having a president fucking resign.
Right.
Did you? Yeah. So the reason I bring that up is because, you know, he's clearly the motherfucker with his thumb on the scale. You know, like get his ass out of there and things are gonna work the way they're supposed to.
Right. Yeah, we're keeping an eye on it. You know, they fucking they went back. They're back in there trying to certify the election.
I was watching it before I jumped in. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I mean, apparently they're still objecting to the state even after all this shit.
Well,
now
what it is these assholes are trying to win their next election.
Right.
So these assholes are like, you know, it's almost like I'm making a deal with the devil, but
they're saying the devil's still going to be popular then.
Well,
like,
no, they know
because
that.
I mean, that's my fear is that is so entrenched now. Like this, this Trump. Obviously, white supremacy has been around forever. But
yeah, right. It's been entrenched.
Yeah.
It's just gotten more wheels.
It's just
you know, it's closer to like in this decade that older folks will remember better, where it's like when white folks were around each other, it would be just like, let's look around, like, okay, can we talk for real? Okay, racist, you know, and like, you know.
Oh, I know, man. I've been in those rooms, man.
Yeah.
I've seen the fucking ugly head of it, man.
But I mean, it was what I guess what I'm referring to is like when it was like there was no other white person in the room to be like, you know, like later on, like you might have some white folk be like, yo, you can't talk like this shit around me. Like, no, fuck all this shit. Whereas back then it was like, even if you didn't agree, you weren't about to tell other white people to stop being racist. God forbid you might make somebody uncomfortable in their racism.
I mean, to a degree. I mean, also, like, that being said, I think white people have always known this shit was wrong. You know, like even back then, you might have been afraid to speak out about it or whatever, but like, you know, like it's not a new idea that fucking white supremacy is fucking wrong and
right.
bullshit,
You know, you're full of shit, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's as old as the idea is the idea that it's wrong.
You know how I know I'm okay though, because I put a crucifix on me, and Jesus saves, baby. Jesus saves.
Right. Been talking to Jesus. You know,
Jesus, man.
Jesus. Oh man.
I'm glad you dug the set.
Objections have been submitted in writing and signed by House Representative Senator. So far, the signers have pulled out. I don't know. We're getting updates here. I mean, you know, that's all beside the point anyway. From what we said, but
hey, I wanted to give some appreciation and shout outs to again Justin. You know, I was able to hear his set in its entirety.
Yeah, Justin Blackburn.
Not only his set, but also the conversation you guys had.
That was really cool, man. He had some good points. Right?
It was great. No, it was great. I was listening to it and I was laughing, and you know, I was just like too busy like looking through my poems to like type in and go ha, or you know, I love it, or you know, something.
Yeah, that's all good.
But you know, listen to Kevin, listen to Tracy, to Christopher T. What's the dude who was in the Kennedy?
It was all great.
Household.
Lee Stockdale,
Lee
man.
Stockdale,
Great poet here in Asheville. He actually, his dad was the ambassador for the Kennedy administration.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild.
He has like these early childhood memories of growing up around Jack Kennedy. So it was cool to like get those old guys' perspective, and they're just like, yeah, we've never.
I love what he was saying. I love where he was talking though. It's like he wanted to focus on love and
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was so beautiful and poignant.
Yeah, it was. I wish I couldn't even listen to KJ. KJ, right?
Oh yeah. KJ was fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't even get a chance to. I was like running around, like I heard it in the back. I'm like, no, I gotta.
Oh yeah, we'll catch up on it. It's all.
Oh yeah,
on
well
YouTube and
he's
stuff,
a favorite. He's a favorite. But
man.
Like I said, I just want to give a shout out to everybody that performed tonight, that shared. In particular on a night like tonight, to still like find a way to get some free expression out.
Yeah. Absolutely. And of
wonderful.
Course,
and then you, bro. You.
Oh, thanks, man.
I love what
trying.
You pick, and I got to hear you opening. Yeah.
Oh, you did catch the opening set tonight?
Yeah, I was in the car.
Okay,
so I was able to hear that.
Oh, cool, man. I was shaky about all that stuff, man. But
I dug it. Yeah.
I'm glad you did, man. Thank you. Yeah, that means a lot.
Yeah.
It was like, nights like this, like opening it up, it's like, fuck, what do I even read tonight? Like, what can I even say? To start this thing off tonight. And then I always feel much better once I hand it off to y'all and everyone, the whole community thing starts
Sure.
It's really cool. And then, of course, we got to acknowledge Morgan, our technical director.
I always try to do that. Yeah.
Oh, dude, you're great about it. Yeah. Wait, is Morgan around? Should we bring Morgan on?
Oh, hell yeah.
Is Morgan there? No, he's saying no. No.
Okay.
Oh, wait. No, Morgan's here. We're bringing Morgan on.
Nice.
We're bringing Morgan on. Morgan is our technical director. He makes the wheels turn.
I'll
give it up for Morgan Beissert right here. Oh, and Morgan, my audio is not working now.
Makes the wheels
ideas. Should I turn it on and back off?
Oh, God.
Morgan not only makes the wheels turn, he actually makes the wheels. Like he's sitting there, he's like.
Up for Morgan, our technical director tonight. What's up, man? How you doing tonight? Morgan's joining us from Charlotte. Emilia is here from Chicago, and it's been a fucking crazy day.
Technology.
Yeah, and technology. Now my music and shit's not working, so I can't play the Emilio ending, which is our ritual.
When on that recording.
I need to get you on there because I have a recording of Emilio doing that.
Well, the original. That's the original.
We've just been covering it ever since. But there is an original version of that song with the Kava lactones.
On that recording,
it's fantastic. It's on archive.org. We can actually post a link to that, I think. It would be 2015 or something crazy like that on the Kava lactones archive.org page.
But no, that was a thing.
So I wanted to ask you on the recording that you do, do people know that it's like that I wrote it? Like, do people say this is?
Oh, I tell people every time I do it. It might not be on the recording, but
I remember
this is the Emilio Kava bar poem. I don't know what else to call it, but like
the year after,
people are like they know that shit. Yeah, because
the year after I come back to Asheville, this motherfucker walks me into the Kava bar. Max is working, and Max goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, Emilia Maldonado," and then you or him kicks it off, and then there's people saying my poem. I'm like, what the motherfuck is going on? I'm walking through, and like. I wasn't surprised that you knew it because you'd asked me for a copy of it, right? Like you and Jack wanted to read it.
Yeah, I was like,
But
what
then
is that? That's great.
walking through a cafe and there's like more than Caleb reading, yelling with joy the poem at me. Like the fuck? And Max is yelling it out loud. I was like, holy shit, this is fucking wild.
It's legendary.
It was so cool.
Pennsylvania objection.
Oh, you listen to the
Dude,
news?
for fuck's sake.
They've
Like,
all
that's
been-
what I'm saying. Who the fuck is still objecting at this point?
Well,
It's
they've
like,
all been
really?
turned down so far because
Yeah, but like, dude, wouldn't you just pull your I would just kind of like silently
Right.
pull my objection at this
Oh,
point.
shit, yeah,
Even if
like-
I were that much of an asshole to get
I
to
would,
that point,
I would Ted
I
Cruz
would be
shave
like,
my beard.
okay, no.
It's like, hey, you know what? I shave. I'm pulling this. It was that guy.
Shave that beard, Ted Cruz.
yeah, this one's standing. I mean, it'll get voted, flipped, I'm sure, but they'll have to,
Oh,
I
for
guess, vote on it.
fuck's
I'm
sake.
sorry, I've been monitoring this the entire night, and
Yeah.
I've got 3
Yeah, I'm
screens.
sure you're
in
like
front of me.
cracked out on the news at this point.
I'm
I'm running a
oh,
show.
God, dude. I need to join y'all. Hang on.
Oh, yeah.
Do a shot, man. We're drinking.
Up on Cripple Creek.
Yep.
Fucking cheers.
She swims me if I spring.
Spring a leak. She
Oh my God.
mends me.
All right.
We need to end this thing
Salud.
soon.
We should.
Cheers,
Well,
y'all.
cheers, y'all.
I straight up didn't know that next line was "She mends me." How perfect was that?
I might.
It's actually a well-written song.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
look that up.
Oh, it fits. Yeah, that's awesome.
There's so many songs I feel like I know by heart that I'm just singing what I thought I heard.
Yeah, right. I know
That
by
happens
shower.
too.
I know by shower heart.
Oh, yep. Now I gotta take a effing recess and then come back and vote on this objection.
Ah, for fuck's sake.
But then
Okay.
after that, it should be in the clear, more or less.
Oh my God.
Big love to all of you guys. I hope continued safety for your family and for yourselves, for your loved ones.
And same to you, man.
To everyone else out there, the not only the community watching, but also the community that is the poetry mic that you run. A lot of amazing people, wonderful people, artistic, caring, give a shit about trying to bring art back into the regularity of their lives, instead of being this fringe element. So,
Thank you.
Yeah.
There we go.
Salud.
Dude. Salute, Emilia. Thank you.
And big hug to your moms when you talk to her next.
Definitely, man. We'll say hi. And appreciate you being here tonight. It's really good
my
to
pleasure.
get together with y'all.
Highlight
Happy
of my week,
fucking
man.
New Year.
Highlight of my week.
Happy New Year.
Here we go. 2021.
All right.
And-
Really quick.
Yep.
That happened.
You're starting it off.
Because at the beginning, Caleb gave me shit, and I'm like, no, I just had 2 sips. Since then, it's like, since that,
Oh, that's not too bad.
no.
Emilia, I think every time you perform, I mentally mark a line on where the bottle started. Just to see where we're at, by the end of the show.
This is safe.
Get a feel for what's
This is quite
coming.
safe.
Gauge it. What kind of night we got?
What we should do is next time
Poetry
I do a
cabaret.
reading, we should do like a big red paint strip across the stage and the back to know it's like as soon as it gets above this line.
Yep.
And just the thing that the Mercury would be like some sort of interpretive burlesque
What's
dance.
wrong with this?
Yeah. Hey man.
Well, yep.
Parkour. All right.
You know we do interpretive burlesque dance
Hey man.
here in
Okay.
Asheville.
I'm,
Coming at you. And
22nd, 23rd.
yes, check it out. We have a poetry cabaret show coming up.
oh man.
And
Why do I wish I could drive down? But that's going to be all virtual
Well,
anyway, right? There's
it's
not
going to be virtual. So you should tune in and
Yeah.
And then our plan is to try to get another show launched by these shows and you know, try to build this virtual poetry cabaret thing,
Oh,
you know.
cool.
So hopefully we can get get an Emilia performance on that in the future. Yeah. But yeah, let's talk. Let's figure out some shows and shit. In the meantime, y'all check us out 22nd.
Morgan, I'm looking at you. I got it right this time.
And
I messed it up this time.
and then Morgan is down there, and
I love that. I love that dude. Wait,
and
I love both these dudes.
We fucking love these guys. All right, y'all give it up for Emilia Maldonado on poetry. Morgan Beissert here, our technical director. It's been a fun night. It's good as shit to see y'all. Happy New Year. Y'all give it up.
New Year. Good to see y'all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My fucking audio is not working. I don't know what happened.
Share my screen. I got 2015 up.
That's pretty interesting. Okay. All right. Well, all right. Cheers, y'all. Thanks a lot. All right. Share your screen, Morgan. Okay. All right. I'll read a couple poems and we'll leave y'all with the 2015 thing. Thanks for tuning in tonight. If you're still tuned in out there, wow, we're still rolling. All right, it's been a fun night. Hey, y'all take care. Stay safe out there. Stand up for what is right and believe in yourselves. Take this feeling we created here tonight and take it with you wherever you go. Do something good with it. Much love, everyone. It's now my dad's birthday. This one goes out to my dad. This is called Yellow Bucket. That enormous tree, fallen, brown leaves, horizon uprooted. I named it Triamenic. In the woods, behind the golf course, at the bottom of a steep potholed alley, Dad and I hunted golf balls with a yellow bucket. On our walk, we found a pedal car missing a wheel among the leaves. He painted it brown for me, like the family Honda replaced the wheel. I drove in circles on the patio, and the pedals gave me a blister, my foot, a moon. A pistol on the way of emptiness. Needle touch. The jazz drummer's arms must be golden censers, the way he swings, tap that little trap, fly past the crows. Milk that honey, he solemnly goes into solo, head back, and just as you think he might lose it, back to the head. Agony Garden. The doorbell rings. This time Christopher raises up, drifts into the house where darkness eats its body in the hallways and bats sleep in the attic. He wonders if anyone hears water the way he does, the history it carries, washing away and remembering. Christopher cracks his back, moves head side to side, brushes away the deep alcoholic madness always gnawing at him, enough to please, enough to make him feel sick, enough. There's a walled garden with delights of camellias and rose trellis, fountains singing from a stoned koi, time darkened. He listens intently to the water sound, generations pouring, flashes of star and meteor, spirals of sunflower echoing. I'm outside watching for bears. The dog hears much farther than I can see. I hear every imaginary footstep in the leaves. Every city was built in wilderness. The buildings, cars, and people forget the wilderness. But wilderness never forgets them. It comes in with the wind. Bears open trash cans and strew contents like Christmas Day. Coyotes eating the house cats. A black snake curls in the basement. Possums tear down ornaments. Tree roots push through old pavement. A blank sky remembers. A shopkeeper remembers. The migrant worker remembers. Do you remember? When you see the sun come in the window, as the branches nod and the birds complain, and another helicopter takes off, and the black bear makes her den on the hill behind the cemetery, beside the hospital. Do you? Stealing beer from the drunk. Friends pass into our memory. Acres of fog press into our temples. Friends become bitter and fall. Where we began was the moment, and it wasn't meant to happen. Friends take leaps and fuck up. It wasn't staged like a one night only. All our practicing was real. Coal mountains bury us. Friends call through insane wind. Full moon pierces a purple sky. Your boy with the axe handle. Where have we let them lead us? The cries weren't for nothing. We needed a friend for a day. That's it. I'm going to leave you with some Ming Hao John of the Henton and some Rumi of the Barks. Thank you for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. You'll take care out there. Stay safe. You know, whatever. It's just not going to work, is it? The Tron Depths of a Monk at Royal Patriarch Monastery. His thatched hut close by empty forests. A monk prefers the stillness of Chan, the grace of a single peak out his door, canyons opening depths at his stairs. Dusk light ignites distant rainstorms. Kingfisher sky settles into courtyard, shadow, empty. A lotus blossom, pure, and seen in it, mind clear of all taint. Yeah, it's not gonna work tonight, huh? Thank you so much for tuning in to Open Mic tonight. My name's Caleb Beissert. It's always a pleasure. This is Bird Wings. Your grief for what you've lost lifts a mirror up to where you're barely working. Your grief for what you've lost lifts a mirror up to where you're bravely working. Expecting the worst, you look, and instead, here's the joyful face you've been wanting to see. Your hand opens and closes, and opens and closes. If it were always a fist, or always stretched open, you would be paralyzed. Your deepest presence is in every small contracting and expanding. The two as beautifully balanced and coordinated as bird wings. Thanks for coming to Open Mic tonight. Really appreciate y'all. Take care out there. Stay safe. And a happy 2021. We'll see you next week. Cheers. I'm Caleb Beissert. Our technical directors, Morgan Beissert. Our sponsors, Sovereign Kava. We really appreciate you. Have a great night.
Maybe I'm done. I swear, trying to make me like what I like, dig what I dig, see what I see. I don't need nobody to cry when I listen to Bonsky. Hard body, play some man-sized tenor. I'll sit on the floor and watch Tom and Jerry or the Three Stooges by myself. I want you anyway. Sit next to someone and you say to me with someone. Having a lemonade. Trying on heads. The expressly goes on my darling. My darling, your friends like me more than you, I suspect. Loyalty is sometimes taken for granted. I'm gonna caress the rug a little bit more. Get my fingers vibrating. I'm gonna hide a bottle of brandy in the jacket pocket. Fine straight sweets, ready and warm. I promise the phrase you should is 86 forever. Ice cream is on me next time.